Tonight's episode of the Tuesday Night Cigar Club is brought to you by Drew Estate. Come experience the rebirth of cigars at www.drewestate.com and download the free Drew Diplomat smartphone app today to discover nearby retailers, RSVP to special events, redeem points to win exclusive Drew Estate merchandise, and much, much more.
Mistake, but I'm having too much fun to wait. Flag her down when she comes back by. That one's yours and this one's mine. Bring another round. 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 Bring another round.
Here's the suckles.
Good evening, brothers and sisters of the Leaf. Coming to you live once again from the corner of no hope, it's the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. Tonight the gang heads back once again to the legendary Crystal Lake, where they'll do their drunken best to tell the bloody tale of Jason Voorhees' controversial comeback in 1985's Friday the 13th Part 5, The New Beginning. To aid them on their quest, they'll be smoking two cigars this evening, the Kudzu Lustrum and the Jacob's Ladder Brimstone, both from Southern Draw Cigars, paired with the Lager of the Lakes Pilsner and the Lake Breeze Blonde Ale. Two cigars, two different beers, and four numbnuts sitting at the table doing their thing. Poor old Jason doesn't stand a chance. So sit back, folks, light 'em up, and enjoy the show.
Oh, that's good scotch. Good scotch.
Hey, Cade, why don't you hand me one of them cold beers?
Oh, did I miss you?
Yeah.
Sorry, Tut. My system is down temporarily. I'd love to assist you, but unfortunately my system's down right now. So if you want to try back in about 30 minutes, hopefully get the guy in here to get it up and running again. But appreciate your patience. Sorry for any inconvenience. I value you as a member of this podcast.
What?
You didn't like that, did you?
No. Beer.
3 times this week, I'm on the phone trying
No, beer.
to take care of some shit.
Yeah.
I won't name names. One's a bank.
Of course.
Trying to make, because, they don't have tellers anymore. They had to get rid of them. You have to do everything at the fucking ATM. So they got rid of the people.
Just like I
you
like it.
Go to. But now, I can get them on the phone. Oh, Mr. Cade, you're a valued customer. We'd love to help you. Unfortunately, our systems just went down, and we can't really do anything right now. If you want to call back in 30 minutes, maybe the systems will be up. A few hours later, I'm on the phone with a local service company. I had a problem at the house. Mr. Cade, I'm trying to look up your file here. Our system's down. Maybe this is Friday. Maybe call Monday, and hopefully the systems will be up. And then Monday, a completely different business gave me the system down shit. If you don't want to help me, if it's Friday and you're just trying to get out of the office, or if you just don't think I'll like what you have to say to me, whatever the reason, don't fucking tell me the system is down.
What if it was a Chinese hack?
I don't know what...
Cyber warfare.
I don't know what, these guys were Asian I was talking to. I don't know what that has to do with it, Tut. And yes, they were hacks. They couldn't do their job, but I don't know if he was Chinese or not. It seems kind of... Oh, you mean like the Chinese hacked their computer system?
Yeah.
Not that
or
the
like
actual...
the Russians.
Not the guy I was talking to was a Chinese hack.
No. I mean, he might have been,
Anyway, I'm just going to start using that. I decided, you know what? These guys can do it. I'm going to do it. the other night, my wife was like, "Hey, you're gonna pick up my daughter from choir practice." "Oh, I'm sorry, my system's down. Love to help you."
How'd that work for you?
I thought you were gonna do the dishes today. "Oh, babe, I wanted to, and
I value you.
I value the input you give me on a daily basis as far as what I'm supposed to do. Unfortunately, my system's down. There's nothing I can do." I was thinking, some of you guys have told me in confidence that you've occasionally had some problems in the bedroom. What if you guys use that next time? "You know what, babe? It's not you. My system's down, and as soon as we get back up and going, why don't you try again in 30 minutes and we'll see if the system's up."
I've never told you that in confidence or any other way, but I do like that. I do like the idea of using the systems down for pretty much anything.
Why not?
But there's something that just kind of, maybe it's because I'm thinking of ways to make money and retire. How about a marketing ploy right there? "Is your system down in the bedroom? The Tuesday Night Cigar Club Sexual Aid." Why can't we have like our own Blue Chew or something
Why
like
not?
that?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be legit. We'll just like paint some M&Ms or something. "The Tuesday Night Cigar Club Sexual Aid."
But then at the end, if we did it,
Results may vary.
this has not been approved by the FDA.
Results may vary. There are no results. Rotting genitalia and death may follow. All sales final.
If you expect results, you're an idiot. Yeah, why not? And at the end of the commercials, you could show her like rolling back over in the bed and be like, "Hey, babe."
His system's not down anymore.
Yeah, see?
All of a sudden, Frank Thomas. We got to get a celebrity.
Sexual satisfaction of your wife may vary. All sales final.
Well, it's us, so we probably get like, what, Tom Arnold? Maybe. That's probably a reach for us even. Doctor, copyright 2019. All systems go. Male erection
Let's call it the
enhancement
TNCC Sexual Aid.
Sexual aid.
Because maybe we'll have different products.
Yeah.
Different colored M&Ms.
Oh, I was thinking some things maybe we could shape like the microphones we use.
Yeah.
Some for everybody.
No response whatsoever.
Make it in hazardous materials.
Rotting genitalia may occur. All sales final.
But if you buy one, you get one half off. All you do is pay an extra shipping and handling charge.
Did you cut over to me? You're like, "What do you think, doctor?" And I'm like, "I think this is great." At the bottom, not a real doctor.
Not a real doctor. Not even close.
Tuesday Night Cigar Club doctor is not recognized as physician in any of the lower 48 states. All sales final.
Tuttle, rent us a warehouse space tomorrow. We're going to,
You got it.
just like us, we get the big warehouse before we do have any products whatsoever. We'll just let that big empty space sit and cost us money for a few years. Then we'll be ready. Welcome, everybody. To
All warehouse sales final.
Get out of here, that little guy. Welcome, everyone, to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club. Our system is up and running. Well, how could it not? We got scotch, we got beer, we got cigars. Episode 103.
103.
And it's a very special show tonight as we continue to celebrate our march towards Halloween.
Halloween.
And more importantly, we celebrate the birthday of our one and only doctor.
Here.
Hey.
Effing here.
Happy birthday, Doc.
Thanks, fellas.
We've done this
man.
toast 20 times before the cameras came on.
That's all right.
But
They didn't know that.
We love toasting.
We love scotch.
we love scotch. We love the doctor.
Likewise, boys.
Yak Boy, real quick, I want to fire up these cigars. We got 2 cigars tonight because it's a 2 cigar kind of celebration. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the scotch we're sipping on? Ooh, that's smooth.
The Munahopine 12-year single malt ILA scotch.
Looks like, is that Captain Kangaroo steering a boat on it?
No, it's a real scotch.
Not a real scotch.
It's a real scotch.
Where's
Drunkenness may vary.
real scotch from Scotland?
From Scotland.
Okay.
Yes.
What made you
Corrected.
pick this one out? Have you had it before?
I have not. That's primarily, when I go down the scotch aisle looking for something, I go for something different regardless. Have I had it? Is it close to something else I've had? I'm like, you know what? I have no recollection of this particular one.
You've actually
I've
had
had it 20 times.
It certainly is smooth. Not too peaty. I love it.
Actually, that was their tagline, full of peat.
No actual peat used in the process of making this product.
Scotch not made in Scotland. Bottled in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It is tasty. So happy birthday, Doc.
Thank you, sir. Wouldn't spend it any other place.
So we got 2 cigars from Southern Draw tonight. The first one up is what do we do, Doc, every episode? In case this is someone's first time tuning in, don't say we get drunk and make assholes out of ourselves. What's our goal to do every episode?
Our goal is to, other than have a rip and shank of a good time,
Always party.
is to introduce a cigar and a cold beer. And while we're enjoying said cigar and beer and discussing them, we do so while talking about a film.
We take you all the way through a film, start to finish.
Yes.
So our first cigar tonight is the Kudzu Lustrum
Man, really
by
bumped
Southern
up there.
Draw. It is a 5.5 by 52 box press Belicoso. The wrapper is Nicaraguan Medio Tiempo Habano. Binder Nicaraguan Ometepe. And filler is Nicaraguan. It's a Nicaraguan Puro, boys. The Medio Tiempo leaves are found on the highest parts of only some tobacco plants, and they've grown in name recognition over the years as they're used in the highly sought-out Cohiba Behiki.
Okay.
Beheki.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Beheke.
Okay.
I used to say it right, then you said it weird.
Binky?
You used to call it the Binky.
Behinky or something like
the
that?
Behiki.
Wasn't Binky one of the ghosts in Pac-Man?
That was Blinky.
The Behiki.
think it might have
BK.
Binky.
It's a very sought-after, highly priced Cuban cigar. Lustrum, of course, in ancient Rome means a 5-year period.
Okay.
And this is, of course, Southern Draw's 5-year anniversary.
Hey, all right.
In a press release, Southern Draw's main man, Robert Holt, had this to say: "If we were entering a barbecue cook-off this summer and only had a single cut of meat to submit to the judges, the Lustrum would be a consensus choice by the family, offering extravagant and rather pricey vintage tobaccos at a blue-collar price. It's a thank you to those who have supported the brand over the last 5 years. We think we have a cigar worthy of celebrating the first 5 years of Southern Draw, a family company that by the grace of God and for the love and support of an industry has made it longer and been more consistent than many expected." Yeah, 5 years. It seems like they've been around a lot longer just because of their footprint on the industry.
As a business owner, I know how tough it is to make it to that 5-year mark.
Yeah, we're almost 5 years. Next January will be 5 years for us.
Yeah, don't count your chickens, man.
Yeah, well,
Check your fax machine.
we got a ways to go.
Oh boy, Tut bought a fax machine.
Many things can
The
happen.
end is nigh.
I don't have a fax machine, Tut. So we are celebrating tonight the doctor's birthday and the 5th anniversary of Southern Draw cigars.
Well, just drinks all around.
And drinks all around. And can't beat that, boys. We're pairing the Kudzu Lustrum with what beer, Yak Boy?
From Bell's Brewing,
Hmm?
the Lager of the Lakes.
Oh, they made that porter we hated. The Bell's Porter.
They did make the Bell's Porter, but they also made the Two-Hearted Ale.
And
We
we
didn't
like-
make the two-hearted ale.
I think we like that. Real quick, before you tell us about this beer, I just want to say we're headed back to Crystal Lake tonight. I forget, many episodes ago we did another Friday the 13th movie. So it seemed only appropriate going back to Crystal Lake to feature some lake-centric beers. Lager of the Lakes, our second beer, the Lake Breeze. And also the idea was to, by choosing these particular beers, was to kind of divert ourselves from our beloved IPAs and some of the heavier beers we've been doing.
Good. There's a wide world of beer out there.
Less powerful beers tonight. Hopefully they'll allow us to kind of show what they've got without battling, or the cigars will show us what they've got without having to battle against some crazy double IPAs or stouts or something like that. So there's a lot of thought put into these lake beers. Now, I'm sorry for interrupting. Cody, the floor is yours.
He's not sorry.
I know. It's all right. Lager of the
Matt
Lakes.
Kate's never sorry.
Lager of the Lakes. It follows in the tradition of the Czech Pilsners. It's offering a combination of a firm malt and a herbal hop bitterness. And as I say, the Bell's Lager beer is as refreshing and crisp as a swim in the Great Lakes.
It smells good.
And as I said, we've done Bell's before. They began in Michigan in 1985, as they say, with a quest for a better beer. As I said, they're
I would hope that's why every brewery
distribution
starts.
over 40 states. And like I said, we've done a couple others. We've done the Two Hearted Ale. We've done their porter.
Mm-hmm.
They make over 20 beers, and so we've only sampled a very small number.
Well, if they fail us tonight, I'm done with them. That'll be 2 strikes.
They're not. At least not with this beer. I already like it.
You like it?
Yeah, first of all, I'm a fan of the Czech pills.
Me too. I tend to like Czech.
There's no hot bitterness in this at all, so get that out of that description.
Oh, and it's
but it's got some of that herbalness in there that I like. I'm a big fan of the Czech pills. Well, I mean, I'm not like a huge fan, but I'll tell you this: it's the second day of fall, and it was a nice, comfortable 100 degrees today.
It was a lovely 100 degrees today.
Czech pills.
It was a lovely
it's the
autumn.
beer.
First day of autumn, correct?
Second day.
Second day of autumn. What is autumn, Yax?
It's just a time of the year where apparently it's supposed to get colder, but we don't live in that area.
No.
But it's
We
not
live
a-
in- we live
but it's not a
in-
season.
Well, technically,
No, I think
fall,
it is
autumn.
the season.
Summer, spring, winter, fall.
Fall and
fall.
autumn, I
Oh.
believe, are kind of
Fall
synonymous.
Fall
equals
is autumn.
I'm just gonna go with fall.
Well, the
Look, the leaves are
first
supposed to
day
change
is known
color.
as the autumnal
What's your favorite
equinox.
season? Drop someone off the cliff. Fall.
TNCC is anti-autumn.
No,
All in favor?
I like
Well, no,
I like autumn.
You would enjoy it if you lived someplace that actually
That it had it.
experienced it.
Yeah. Why are we here?
We have like our spring and fall equal about
Why are we?
2 weeks total. I felt a breeze. Yep, it's fall. Well, now it's cold.
I like the beer.
Yeah.
It's got a nice.
The first day of the fall season is known as the autumnal equinox.
Oh, fancy
Autumnal.
talk.
The autumnal equinox, yes.
It's the man of science.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been debating on whether I should address this or not. But I was all happy. I got an email alert saying, "Hey, somebody posted a comment on your channel," and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
cool! I like comments on my channel." And then it was on our Beach Babes from Beyond, and I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's go check out what this dude said."
You know, it's over 50,000 views now.
And then the guy said, "It's clickbait. It's just a bunch of fat dudes talking." And I was like, well, first of all, I'm sorry you didn't read the title that said Tuesday Night Cigar Club review.
This is
And-
someone who went to YouTube and they clicked on it thinking they were going to get to watch Beach Babes from Beyond, the actual movie.
Except the
and-
title doesn't say full
No,
movie.
It clearly says it's a podcast. And
And then the description totally didn't say it was the full movie. It said it was a cigar review. But mainly, I'm just kind of disappointed. I'm a little bit sensitive. We do a lot more than just sit around and talk.
yeah, that's true.
We drink beer.
We drink beer. We smoke,
We smoke cigars. And
Occasionally we stand up.
I really think that you were skill shaming me. And I think that, had you taken the time to actually look at our podcast instead of trying to get free movies on YouTube like a douchebag,
It's coming out guns
you
blazing tonight.
might would have learned something. We did a lot of in-depth detective work in that movie and analyzing because it had that Stallone guy that we like, and it had Estevez, and it was a fun episode. But no, apparently you just think we sit around and talk. That's
And you had
wrong.
to throw in we're a bunch of fat guys.
You said that too?
Yes. It said this is clickbait. It's just a bunch of fat guys sitting around talking.
I'm sensitive about my weight, bro. You shouldn't.
It was a
you shouldn't be
very
shaming me.
harsh comment, which I wasn't aware. I wasn't.
I'm just joking.
I
I
was-
don't give a shit what you think, dude. Go on, get your free movie somewhere else.
I wasn't aware people could be mean on the internet like that.
I've never been body shamed before, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't. It was hurtful, and I
I
didn't
mean, I
like
knew
it.
he was talking about Tut, so it was kind of. I didn't take it too personally.
I did.
But here's
I was-
the thing:
I
if
was
you
actually a
can't
little
find
bit-
Beach Babes from Beyond to watch for free, your next best thing is watching our show because we tell you the whole movie. I mean, well, actually, you don't get any titties or any of the reasons you watch Beach Babes from Beyond. You're not gonna get with us.
well, you get
There was
descriptions.
titties
You
in
get
Beach
descriptions
Babes
of
from
titties.
Beyond?
Huh?
I watched a completely different film.
Hey, but you know what? You hurt Tut's feelings? Fuck you, pal. And don't you run into the doctor, or it's tits up for you.
Yeah.
Again, he's not a real doctor, not
Also
certified.
Also, it's a pedal.
You feel better, Tut?
No, not really.
Okay. Light up that cigar. That'll make you feel better.
Okay, because it's a beautiful smelling cigar.
Because I'm blowing it in your face.
You can never smell your own aroma, but boy, I'm getting it from here. Doctor, you enjoying it?
Very much so.
Real quick, I didn't ask you how you like the beer. It's very. How can you not like it? It's not really objection. There's nothing objectionable about it.
Just getting kind of started on it. Just taking a couple of sips as I see how it matches up with the stogie. So far so good. Very nice, smooth, even taste. Nothing really.
Much like the cigar itself.
Yeah.
You enjoying the cigar?
Very much so. Really nice aroma. Real nice flavor to it. They didn't ask for anything of it yet, but little bit of pepper, a little tang there, but very nice, subtle.
Yeah, very subtle pepper on the nose. Boy, I got a real strong sweetness when smelling the foot before I lit it up.
Speaking of sweetness,
that as well.
Boy, this is like the third show in a row you're gonna get sweet raisins.
is there sweet raisins on that cold draw?
Tut, are you drinking prune juice? Are you drinking a
There
lot of prune
is a
juice?
sweetness. I wouldn't
Maybe.
classify it as sweet raisins, but maybe that's for you.
It is sweetness. Sweetness on that cold.
I'm not getting that upon lighting up. There is that real just pleasant tingle on the nose, little pepper. Boy, you've smoked so many of the regular line.
Yeah, I'm a
core
huge fan
line
of the Kudzu Perfecto.
So I'm going to really lean on you to pick up the differences on this one compared to the other one. I'll be honest. I smoke a lot of other Southern Draw. I'm a big Rose of Sharon. I'm a big Rose of Sharon fan.
Yeah.
I enjoy the Firethorn, and I don't know why I haven't had more Kudzus. It was the first Southern Draw I ever had, which I believe was about 5 years ago when we interviewed the Holtz at the Cats Fest. I guess they were just starting.
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe we were their first interview ever. And now they're everywhere. You can't go anywhere on Cigar Me without tripping over the Holtz.
Kudzu is a kind of creeping vine.
That is correct.
That's correct.
That's what he named it after.
Often found in Louisiana.
Ah,
Is it?
I believe Louisiana is the Pelican State.
Maybe I just made that up. I could have swore that's what you told me at one point.
I know it's in the South, like all over the South. I mean,
Okay.
literally, it's all over the South.
Okay.
That's why I was always kind of cracking up at the Walking Dead, when it came out, and it was like, this is how it's supposed to be in the post-apocalyptic world, and it was like Atlanta. I'm like, Kudzu would be all over that place.
I'm getting a really nice French roast coffee on the draw.
Oh, fancy are you?
I am. And I can't really think of another Southern Draw cigar I get coffee out of, but
It's a little bit lighter than their normal, than the Kudzu Perfecto. It's got a lot of flavored presence to it, but it doesn't have this heavy mouthfeel that the Kudzu Perfecto does. And I like the Kudzu Perfecto.
yeah. Construction so far is perfect. Look at that. Very nice ash. Airflow is flowing nicely.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Hotshot?
I like it.
You like it?
Kind of like there was a definite sweetness on the foot. I would probably classify it more towards like that sweet sort of like hay smell.
Yeah.
It's
not
swe-
not
It's
raisins,
not sweet raisins. It's
but
not
no.
sweet raisins.
But,
sorry, Robert. I know I
First
might have got
lighting up,
excited there, but
I got a little hint of pepper, and nothing on the retro overly distinctive yet. Other than that,
I'm gonna
Actually-
get you a shirt made that says "Sweet Raisins."
I am getting, along with the pepper on the nose, I am getting some of that mineral component, that Nicaraguan mineral component
yeah.
on the nose, which is nice. A lot of times I get it on the palate. It's going really nice with that pepper, really unique retrohale. And then, that coffee, that French roast coffee mixed with just some more Nicaraguan kind of earthiness on the draw. It's nice. It's real pleasant.
I'm not sure I drink French roast.
What do you drink?
Just stuff that I throw in the coffee machine.
Folgers crystals.
No, my wife convinced me off of Folgers. I was a Folgers guy.
Maxwell House.
I mean, it wasn't bad.
I've switched over to Maxwell House.
But she was like, ew, Folgers, and we got something else.
You hoity-toity Austinites with your anti-Folgers agenda.
I like Folgers. I got nothing wrong with Folgers. What's
Not
wrong
drinking
with
anymore,
Folgers?
are you?
Chock
no,
full of nuts.
because I like a happy household.
I like a good glass of chock. I like a chock full of nuts in my mouth every once in a while. Oh, doctor. Hey, maybe that could be... No, I don't want to... I'm going to keep all of my marketing ideas for our sex toy business to myself. We'll talk later.
There's something I never wanted to hear again, but hey, here we are.
Okay, well, I'm going to come back.
Hey, give the guy a break, will you? His system's down.
My system is down. I'm sorry.
He values you.
So we've got lit up our first cigar. We're drinking our first. Man, to me, the beer is just... It's got a nice little bite sharpness on the front end. That's kind of it.
It's a crisp Pilsner.
But that's okay. I wanted something that just kind of... I know it's there, but it's leaving the cigars alone. So we got the Lager of the Lakes going. And we've got our cigars lit. The only thing left to introduce is tonight's film. Friday the 13th, Part 5. A New Beginning.
A new beginning?
A New Beginning. 1985. Well, it has to be a new beginning. Jason died in the last one. Or did he?
So we were told.
Or so we were shown.
And you know it's October, so I'm out on my deck in bright sunlight. Let's get this going.
Yeah, Ted, it's almost over. We got one more show before Halloween, and you're free. Before our terror-filled march to Thanksgiving goes down. I've got a whole slate of horror-themed Thanksgiving movies. Thanks-killing movies.
Just when you thought it was safe to go gobble gobble.
Friday 13th, A New Beginning, written by Martin Kitrosser, who also wrote the previous entry, Friday 4, and would go on, get this, he went on to be Quentin Tarantino's script supervisor all the way from Reservoir Dogs to Hateful Eight.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a resume change.
Yeah, but
Gotta cut your teeth somewhere.
that's a long stretch. I think it's ironic, though, because tonight's movie obviously didn't have a script supervisor. There's so many continuity errors in it. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. Another guy named David Cohen. And also, it was written by director Danny Steinman. Tell you a little bit about this guy. He's a character. Steinman was an interesting choice to helm this film, as his biggest hit thus far had been the 1973 crazy, over-the-top, psychedelic porno flick, High Rise, starring adult film legends Harry Reams, Jamie Gillis, and Bertha Boobs.
What was that? Is that
High Rise?
H-I
Rise?
Rise?
1973.
I've never seen you guys pick up your pencils so furiously.
G-H?
Well, I just want to make sure
Yes.
I never
Yes.
watched such filth.
Yes, and it's
High Rise.
Bertha Boobs, B-O-O-B-S.
B-S, not B's. Okay.
Or not B-E-W-B-S.
I believe it's French.
Okay.
Canadian. Not familiar with Bertha Boobs. I'll have to look her up for...
You did a college thesis paper on Harry Reams, though, didn't you?
I did. I actually brought him into the classroom with me. Like, kicked me out of Sam Houston. The only place I get into was Stephen F. Austin, and I just said, fuck it, I'm done. But that's... First time I ran into Bertha Boobs was on the Stephen F. Austin campus.
Yeah, you did.
She was carrying Tut's book bag
Yeah, she was.
in front of her. Those aren't books. Bertha Boobs. At the time... What a name! I mean, there's some crazy porn star names out there, but as far as the imagination scale goes, like the creativity scale,
Yeah, but you gotta put in
it's branding. It's good
It's
branding.
in the 70s. Early 70s, no less.
What are people going to know before they even see you? Boobs.
It's branding.
But I get the
don't
feeling
think...
she shows up, she doesn't have boobs.
Oh, you think it's an ironic porn name?
Maybe.
Oh,
I better go watch and see for myself.
again, H-I-G-H, Rise.
Got it. Good.
Right.
But who the hell thought Bertha was sexy?
Different times.
Different times.
Well, Betty Boobs was probably already taken.
Yeah, Betty Boobs would have been.
Maybe that's what she was like saying, but then she got sued, you know.
Yeah.
Just go Bertha.
I think we put way more thought into it than she probably ever did.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, at the time, it was the most successful theatrically profitable adult film after 1972's Deep Throat. It was a big hit.
Deep throat.
Spell that
out. He then went on to shoot the gritty Linda Blair exploitation film Savage Streets in '84, which I'm embarrassed to say how much I paid for a DVD of that about 15 years ago.
Is that the one where she was like raped?
Is that?
She was out for
Went out.
revenge for the people that raped and killed her
I
sister.
think I've actually seen that.
It's a
Do you have it in this room?
yes, I do.
Oh.
We can pop it in after the show. You guys want to hang out for a while?
That was a little bit too. That's pretty graphic.
Oh, but you'd stay for Bertha Boobs, wouldn't
I
you?
bet if I had high rise, you'd stick around till dawn.
Well, I want to see whether it's talking about a skyscraper or not.
It is. It takes place in a tall.
Oh.
I've seen it. I want to watch it for the research for the show this week.
Of course.
I made the comment. It's clickbait. It's just Bertha Boobs. Bullshit. Yeah, it's a giant apartment building where just some crazy, sexy shenanigans go on. Some orgies.
System's never down over there.
The system was never down at the high rise. So then he shot Savage Streets with Linda Blair, which that was before streaming, and when you'll remember this, if you really wanted to watch a movie, those fuckers would know it and they would charge you like $40 for a DVD. There's a whole wall in this other side of the corner, No Hope, filled with DVDs. I just paid ridiculous because I wanted to see it so bad, and it was the only way you could possibly see it.
Interestingly enough, they somehow knew that with VHS tapes too, because I was able to put together the whole Friday series. In fact, you were present on several of these excursions. The old Suncoast video, they were selling the Fridays, the original 8 movies from the 80s. Would be like $9, or if you bought more than one, they were like $7 a piece. Brand new, not previously viewed or anything. So I got all the original 8, and then when the final Friday came out in early '90s, so I was looking for that one, and I guess that one, at the time I was buying these, we were kids, it wasn't still in the '90s, and that one was, I think I had to pay like $19.95 for that VHS tape, which was an exorbitant amount for a VHS tape at the time.
Oh, sure. Well, don't make me tell my...
I think it promised like 2 minutes of extra footage.
Oh, yeah, they'd always throw that on the end of the...
Which was just Stephen Williams combing his beard.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Well, it turned out Steinman was a huge horror fan. And in 1984, he was hired to direct a sequel to Wes Craven's classic Last House on the Left film.
Yeah.
One of my old-time personal favorites.
Oh, you fucking make a sequel to that, I'd like to know.
I don't know, but this guy might be the guy to...
Yeah.
It's not a bad hire, this guy, to try it anyway. But that project fell through, and when that did, someone gave his name to the Friday the 13th producing team, and boom, he got the gig. Before we start, I want to say I chose the Friday the 13th film tonight because, to me, the Friday the 13th series as a whole kind of signifies the end of summertime horror. Story,
blockbuster type.
Friday the 13th is just, to me, it's summertime horror. You got the campers, you got the, it's... So we're going to close the chapter tonight on summertime horror. I also picked it because it's a very different approach to the Jason formula. It doesn't get a lot of love from the diehard purists, and it's always kind of interested me, just how different it is and why, despite having so many elements that people love, it just always kind of got shat on. So we'll talk a lot about that. And finally, I picked a Friday the 13th movie because I know how much the Doctor loves him, and it's his birthday. So there
Thank
you
you,
go.
sir.
That's your present.
It's a good reason.
you.
It's a good reason.
Got my Thank God It's Friday shirt on.
Doctor's even got on his Thank God It's Friday Jason Voorhees shirt.
Jason Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees.
We always knew there would be a part 5 because even though part 4 was the final chapter, a year later we have the new beginning because at the time these things were just making too much money on a low budget, so they weren't going to stop.
No, of course not. And this film actually did really well box office wise. People bitch about it after they left the theater, but they went and saw it. I think it came out the same weekend as like Porky's 3,
Porky's Revenge.
Breakfast Club maybe. I think was out for a few weeks, but it topped the box office.
Interesting.
When it came out in '85. There's I want to say it was up against Porky's 3 and something else, but Breakfast Club was still hanging in there in that top 10. Boy, guys, I got before we get in the movie, about an inch into the cigar, that mineral component just blew up, not only in the nose more with the pepper, but it started showing up on the retrohale.
Yeah.
And the whole Nicaraguan tobacco element just seemed to kind of like, bam, like,
yeah.
the difference between two puffs was crazy. It just really...
I really get it on the retrohale.
It just really came alive.
I'm still amazed at how light this cigar is. It's not a heavy sitting cigar. It's just very kind of plays on the palate light, but I always get a little bit cautious about saying that because a lot of people are like, light cigar, that means it doesn't have flavor. No, it's a flavorful cigar.
That's a crazy thing to say.
It just doesn't have it just doesn't sit heavy in your mouth. I mean, it doesn't sit heavy on your palate. I don't know. It's hard to. I guess that's how you explain it.
And
I'm
even not
exactly
being
sure.
a coffee drinker, I can kind of see what you mean with the sort of roast because I felt like there was a kind of a cocoa, maybe real dark, rich chocolate almost a little bit there.
Okay.
None of it overwhelming.
Not at all. But yeah, it's just that black coffee. There's no creaminess to it.
But it's mineral and it's nice.
Mineral, earth, coffee.
It's Nicaraguan.
Pepper.
Yes.
It's tasty. It's just
And the retrohale is very, very cool.
But it just seems kind of have a little ebb and a flow. Like one puff will kind of, that mineral will be really present, and then it'll kind of go away for a second. Like let the coffee take. It's kind of a little roller coaster in there.
Lustrous.
It's lustrous. It is lustrous.
Yeah.
Would you guys describe me to a stranger as lustrous?
No.
Yeah.
I can't say that. My system's down right now. I'll have to get back to you.
If you were standing right behind me,
I'll try back in 30 minutes.
if you were standing right behind me and you were telling me to say that, yeah, I probably would.
Well, that's usually the only way I can get you to compliment me.
Yeah.
Just jabbing the ribs.
Say nice things.
So yeah, I'm curious to see what. I mean, I'm going to stay on top of this cigar because I'm really liking those transitions back and forth. Okay. Well, if you remember back, and I should mention, this is going to sound like the thing that least needs to be said of anything ever. It is going very well with the Scotch as well. Breaking news: cigar goes well with Scotch.
Especially Nicaraguan cigars. I like it.
Because the beer is just kind of there after that first kind of bite on the front. Boy, the Scotch really does that.
Speaking of Scotch.
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, it does. It to me it goes very, very well. The beer, I like the beer. It's nice little summer beer.
Technically, we're still summer here, so
We're still going to be summer until after Halloween.
Why not?
our autumn comes after Christmas.
Pretty much.
Thank you, sir.
Well, if you remember back at the end of Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter, which came out a year earlier in '84, a young Tommy Jarvis, played to perfection by one of our favorite Corys, Corey Feldman.
I saw this dude and I was like, you snuck another Corey movie in.
I sort of did. Well, he has just sunk a giant machete through the side of Jason Voorhees' mutated skull in what is a really cool Tom Savini effect. Smacks him upside the head. The machete goes in right here. He falls on the machete. The handle hits the ground, and it just slides. Completely sinking that fucking blade into his head. It's a great effect. And he appears to finally do what no one has ever been able to do in the previous 3 films. Kill Jason for good. The last scene in the film shows Tommy comforting his older sister Trish in the hospital, and the camera zooms in on Corey gives this little evil stare into the camera, and you're like, oh, is he going to be the next Jason? What does this mean? Well, we're going to find out.
And I know we're doing part 5, but a tour de force performance by a then, 12-year-old Feldman probably?
Yes, if you read, there's some great documentary. Crystal Lake Memories is a wonderful 5-hour documentary on the entire series, and they literally get, if you're still breathing and you were in the background of, if you were a camper You're
They
in
got
this
you?
thing.
Oh, that's good.
But it's actually narrated by Corey Feldman. And the guy who played Jason in part 4, he's on record as saying he thought he was a little shit. He said he was like a mean little kid. He was just, he knew, but he's like, but I got to say, the kid was talented as hell. He knew his lines better than any kid actor. And the film is what it is because of him.
Yeah.
But he's like, he was a mean little bastard. This is like a grizzled old stuntman, like with his feelings hurt. But yeah, he rocks part 4. I mean, he's so good in it. And guess what? We start things off in this movie once again with Tommy Jarvis, played by Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
He's a slightly older now than when we last saw him, and this time he's wearing spectacles. Those are new. He makes his way through the forest in the rain to a remote graveyard where a crude tombstone marks the final resting place of Jason Voorhees. I do mean crude, too. It's like
It looked
3
like
boards
we
stuck in
made
the
it.
ground, and they just spray painted Jason Voorhees on it. It does. It looks like we put it together. Looks more like a pet cemetery, maybe.
It really is.
He stares down at the grave, but is quickly distracted by the sounds of people approaching in the distance. So he runs over to the trees and hides to observe what's going to happen nearby. Turns out a couple of drunken yahoos, TNCC style, have chosen this torrential rainstorm to chug some beers, grab their shovels, and dig up the legendary killer.
Not TNCC style.
I had to say it. This was more Cade Mency circa like college years.
Maybe young TNCC
Am I
style.
the only one at this table who is genuinely shocked that in our teens, maybe even our 20s, well, 2 weeks ago, that we have never snuck in and desecrated a cemetery? That just seems like something we would do. Not him. He's getting this weird look from him. Dude, we did everything else. How did we never sneak into a cemetery and dig up a coffin?
I think even at our lowest point, we were ahead of these guys. I don't get it. It's pouring rain. They're so happy. They're all, woo, yeah, let's get a look at the man. Woo.
I mean, I guess they're at the bar and like, last call. What do you want to do? You got those shovels in your truck? Let's do it.
It's go time.
And these weren't kids. These were like,
They're at least like 25. All right, yeah, let's stay there in the pouring rain, dig a hole. Woo.
It just seems like totally. Why are you so against desecrating cemeteries?
I think we're all against it.
No, but he was like, not me. No way. Nuh-uh. Not
Oh,
gonna
I
happen.
was joking. I've never desecrated a cemetery, but I've definitely snuck into
You
cemeteries.
partied in some
Yeah.
cemeteries? Danced on
Living
some
Dead,
graves?
yeah, Living Dead style.
Topless with those road flares?
I just feel the
I can't-
hands of old men all over me.
Can't get any of this out of my head soon enough.
Only there's a way to get rid of it.
Scotch. Forget you, beer. See you in an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah, it was a different time. It was the 90s. It was the early aughts.
It was July.
Doctor, what do you make of Tut's? I like the feel of old man's hands all over me.
Well, Mr. Cade, I am afraid that it is a little bit too early to tell. My God, how horny he must have been.
Hey, perhaps he could use one of our erectile dysfunction meds. Or the old men could use them.
No, please don't give those bastards it.
Results may vary.
All sales final. Erections may not occur, ever.
TNCC refuses to submit to the FDA.
By listening to this ad, you have lost all legal representation.
Anywho, these two numbnuts very quickly, dig up the shallow grave. They only buried him like 2 feet down. And stare down at the main man himself, who, get this, was conveniently buried wearing his hockey mask, and someone put a little machete in
Well,
his
I also
hand.
want to point out that he was literally buried. Like the coffin is literally at the surface. They're also like
No.
dig faster.
I like that.
And
Well,
they like remove 2 shovelfuls of dirt and they uncover
You
it.
get
Well,
what you
we
pay
wanna-
for. He didn't have any family paying for that grave.
we
obviously.
want to send him off with the things that he loved the most.
Seriously,
Why
though,
would
it's like
you- why
Dracula
would
in
you-
his cape. Like, what the fuck? What are you
Why
doing?
would you bury a psychotic killer? I'm like, just burn his ass. I'm just saying.
Well, we'll learn. Supposedly, maybe that is what was done. We'll learn that. So they're looking down at him, and Jason quickly, he's got some worms coming out of his mask, but he's alive. He quickly sticks the machete in one dude, makes mincemeat of the other guy. He shoves like some other sharp thing right in his neck. They're dead within seconds.
Why would he be buried with weapons? Who did this?
The Gravedigger system was down.
The Gravedigger system was down. Tommy stands frozen in shock as Jason begins walking towards him, raising his machete. But just as Tommy yells out, "No!" we cut to the back seat of a car where our current day Tommy Jarvis wakes up covered in sweat from the cemetery nightmare. It was a nightmare. Nobody actually buried him in a mask.
A nightmare. I should have seen it coming.
Of course.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Cade, but they had wanted to bring Feldman back to reprise Tommy Jarvis, but he was making
Correct.
Goonies at
Correct.
the time.
His schedule was so full by this point, his popularity had taken off. In '84, when they're filming this, he was filming Goonies. And they actually gave him like 4 hours to go across town and film this little opening scene. All he did, when you see him in the bushes, that's it. When you see him walk to the grave, that's a female cast member wearing his rain slicker.
Yeah.
When you see him run, that's a little short female wearing the rain slicker. All he did was show up, stand there, and that was it.
Put a smoke in his mouth and say, "I got to get back to Spielberg set. Later, losers."
Scotch.
You know he did.
Well, he was 13 at that point, so
He's still he's drinking scotch and doing coke by that time.
yeah, it'd be a horrible life.
Yeah.
I got places to go and ladies to do. Later, fools.
If you need me, I'll be back at the Goonies set. You see, boys, this time around, as we've been kind of alluding to, Tommy is played by an actor named John Shepard. And other than him wearing those same wire-rimmed spectacles that they put on, he doesn't look really anything like Corey Feldman.
No.
It's... yeah.
Well, and you also have to figure, too, that, and I think they
Of course,
mentioned...
Corey Feldman's one of the most recognizable faces at this time. So, I mean, you're not going to find one.
Even jumping 4 or 5 years into the future, figuring that Feldman was 12 or so, 13 in Part 4, and even though Part 5 comes out a year later, this guy's clearly got to be at least 17 or 18. There's still no resemblance.
No, I thought this guy looked like he was in his early 20s.
20s, yeah.
Which probably meant in the shooting script it was probably 17
How
or 18.
cool would it have been if they couldn't get Feldman, but they cast Corey Haim as Tommy Jarvis in this one?
I thought they did.
You think he looks like Haim?
A little bit, yeah.
I'd like that better. But anyway, his name's John Shepard, and he only says like 2 lines the whole movie, so... Anywho, according to almost everyone involved in the production, it was a big deal when Corey couldn't do it. They all wanted him. He wanted to do it. That was the big thing that I was kind of glad to hear. Like, he really wanted to do it. He loves the series.
I'm surprised that they didn't hold off for a year.
Man,
These
then,
were so... The Fridays were so crank them out one after the
clockwork,
other.
man. They just had to keep making
Really?
them. Yeah.
80 to 89, 10-year period, they released 8 of them.
Yeah, I guess you strike while the
They
iron's
just-
there. That made no sense, but...
Goonies was probably such a big production. They probably didn't have a timetable.
Yeah.
Probably didn't know when he'd be free.
Yeah. Well, our current Tommy is being driven in the backseat of a vehicle from the Unger Institute of Mental Health. Doctor, you did a residency there, didn't you?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a residency, but I did spend some time at the Unger Institute of Mental Health. I wasn't a resident. I was not a resident. I did some. Yeah, that's not what you meant, right? I did some rounds. I did a series of
Hey,
rounds.
speaking of rounds, everybody okay here?
I'm good.
Okay.
Their system was down, so I had to leave.
Unger's system is notorious for going down. Apparently, Tommy's never been quite right after the events of the first film. And who could blame the poor kid? So we cut then to an opening credit sequence where a hockey mask swoops in, destroys the Friday the 13th logo, and then our standard Friday the 13th white text letters come out, giving us credits, and the all too familiar sounds of Harry Manfredini's score plays throughout. Hell, man, at this point, Part 5, Harry Manfredini's score is just as much a part of these movies as Jason. I mean, it's such a unique soundtrack, and even not just the kill cha cha cha, but just he's got his own unique sound.
I think they use it really well too. They don't. I mean, there's parts of where it could just be nothing, but that really kind of ratchets up the tension.
Yeah,
There was only one time to where I was just like, "What the hell is this?"
Is that when the van was leaving to the trailer park? And
Yes!
it was that pulsing like they were running from something, but
Right.
they were just driving.
They're just going to a trailer park.
Yeah,
And
that
I
was a
like,
really weird music
That
choice.
was a choice.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, they're just driving to meet somebody, right? Like there's nothing dangerous going on.
Is there supposed to be something happening here that I'm not understanding?
I think there must have. Was this something cut, or was that used like in a different spot?
I don't know, but it was sort of weird. But I just find watching these movies, I just find his score so kind of like the Halloween music. It's just so comforting. You know, you're kind of in your safe spot. You know what else is comforting, boys?
What's that?
That's right, Yaks. Coffee.
Coffee.
It is.
If I don't start my day with at least 4 cups, I'm not the lovable K that you guys know and love. Shut up, Tut. And for a guy like me who loves coffee and also loves cigars, there's a perfect product out there that brings these two passions together like nothing else the world has ever seen. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Do I?
What am I talking about?
Are you talking about tobacco?
Tobacco Special cigars. You got it. You win.
What do I win?
Actually, the computer I keep track of my prizes is down right now. I'll get back to you later. Talk to me in 30 minutes.
Right.
I value you.
We'll see in
Do you
30 minutes.
Do you think Cade Irishes up those 4 cups of coffee he has every morning?
You know he does.
Tobacco Special Cigars, brought to you by Drew Estate, the same folks who created Sweet Jane, La Vieja Habana, and so many other classic lines. Available in your choice of either extra dark Connecticut broadleaf or natural Connecticut shade wrappers. They envelop a Sumatra binder and Nicaraguan Criollo filler leaves. Before aging, the cigars are slowly infused with Nicaraguan estate-grown coffee. The smoke is medium to full-bodied, depending on the wrapper. Its rich tobacco flavors commingling with the unmistakable aroma of coffee and a little bit of sweetness. A perfect early morning or after-dinner smoke, and if you don't believe me, go try one for yourself.
Hey, when we were out the dove hunting, we gifted one to our friend Lance, and he went over the moon with it.
He loved
it.
Awesome. And if you don't believe me, what's up with that? What if I lied to you before?
I'll go back to my notes.
All right, okay, moving on.
Sales final.
My system is not down. Let me.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
The opinions of the Tuesday Night Cigar Club are not validated by any governing body. No refunds.
Always gotta add that in there. Boy, this cigar came even more alive at the halfway point. Strength-wise,
Yeah.
the strength really picked up at the halfway point, and the smoke production. Like all of a sudden, it's really smoky in here, which is awesome.
It is.
Are you guys still
I
here?
had to double check to make sure that the fans were on.
Yeah. Man, again, same kind of flavors, rich earth. Doctor, I think you're right with a little bit of that dark chocolate because I'm getting it kind of with that coffee. They're kind of going back and forth a little bit.
And like you said, not in a sweet, creamy way, just a very rich kind of.
Yeah. But still the pepper's ever present on the nose, but that mineral is still jointed every once in a while. But the mineral's also definitely there on the palate. But
I'm actually getting coffee through the retrohale.
Through the retrohale.
Yeah. Like if you blast it early, it's.
Oh, Todd, I see you've been sticking the cigar up your nose.
Oh.
That's not retrohale.
Oh, okay.
He smokes like this and blows it out his mouth.
No, it just comes out both of his ears.
Maybe.
Yosemite Sam style. What tarnation's going on with this cigar?
Man, I did not expect that big jump up in strength there at the middle. That's nice. I like cigars that surprise me. That's all I want. An interesting cigar. Surprise me. I'm happy.
Yeah, I've always when grading things on a complexity transition scale, I've always kind of had trouble with that. Like, what makes complexity of transition good? I mean, that's obviously the most subjective one of all, probably. When it shifts, but not unexpectedly, but just kind of goes back and forth a little bit from the same couple of different things you're getting.
Yeah, that's nice. And I don't need necessarily to be surprised by a new, all of a sudden, whoa, malted milk balls. Where'd that come from? But just like that huge kick up in power and strength at the middle.
Give me my malted milk balls back.
Yeah.
Oh no! As soon as I got there, I mean, it just ratcheted up. The chocolate. I'm getting like a hint. I mean, I'm not tasting much of it, but like just on that little bit of the backside, I'm getting a hint of it.
Felt like a real dark, almost cocoa kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, let me sneeze. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Well, Tommy is being delivered like a crazy psychotic pizza to the Pinehurst Youth Development Center, deep in the heart of Crystal Lake.
That's going to my notes.
That's basically what it is. They're like a food delivery. They just pull up. Here's your crazy person and take off.
It's an odd establishment.
It is. It's kind of just an old house in the country.
Well, it's a halfway house. That's what it's supposed to be. They're taken out of the mental institution.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Half of a house at that.
I thought it was actually supposed to be like a mental institution.
No,
So
he's leaving the Unger Institute,
yeah.
which we don't actually really see. And this place run by the kind
Dr.
people.
Matt Letter tells him, this isn't what you're used to.
I totally forgot about that. I remember it now that you mentioned it. I remember the speech at the beginning, but I totally was like, "This is the most lax mental institution I've ever seen."
Oh, it's the definition of lax.
But the idea is give them a little more freedom, have them interact a little more with others. They tell them that we're preparing you to re-enter society.
Correct.
Well, our system is down at the moment. It's more of an honor system, so you just do whatever you really want to.
Don't kill anybody. You don't kill anybody, you're going to be just fine. Well, Tommy says nothing on the whole drive in, and when they get there, he refuses to get out of the
Man,
van.
I should have worked there rather than the Unger Institute.
Doctor, you'd fit in right.
Whatever you feel like.
Well,
Should I chop some wood with his axe? I'm feeling a lot of anger problems. I think it's really good if you go outside and work those problems out.
well, he's silent and refuses to get out of the van. That is until the beautiful blonde assistant director, Pam Roberts, comes out to greet him, and then he begrudgingly gets out of the van.
Pam,
she does the trick. She tries to make small talk with him as she leads him to Dr. Matt Letter's office, but he's as quiet as a fart on the battlefront. The smooth-voiced, laid-back doctor, he's clearly banging Pam.
We're still thinking about your analogy that you just gave us.
Well, it's the battlefield. You don't want to be loud, so you
Right.
conceal your farts.
Is it because the battlefield's loud and you can't hear it, or
No, I always thought it was because in battle, if you're sneaking up on someone,
That's right.
something as small as a fart could compromise your position.
That's right. Charlie hears farts.
Yeah.
all right?
There's men that have died in battle holding in their farts.
man, you guys are delivering gold. Delivered like a crazy psychotic pizza. Charlie hears farts.
My uncle held in a
God.
fart so long in Vietnam. I'm not going to tell you what happened to him. He just got real bad stomach pains. He's okay.
They're all going into my next research paper.
We called it Agent Brown.
We lost a lot of good men because of that.
Lost a lot of good men due to Agent Brown. Why were you guys having Taco Tuesdays down at the barracks? You set those men up for disaster.
Oh, more on that later.
He said walking into a minefield. I thought he meant a real battle.
The smooth-voiced, laid-back doctor, like I said, it's clear him and Pam are doing it. Pam, why don't you close the door and get Tommy a drink?
He is smooth.
It's a sweet gig. He tells Tommy it's different here at Pinehurst than your usual batshit crazy mental asylum where you spent your whole life.
I think he uses those terms.
There's no guards here, and you can pretty much do as you please, man. Our main goal is to get you ready to re-enter society and start your new life.
All right, I told Cade. Anybody else recognize
Oh yes,
The old doctor?
absolutely.
I got it, though.
You got it, and I figured
yes.
you would.
The doctor, who is he?
I don't know.
Bullwhip and hat?
He's not Harrison Ford.
He actually is the inspiration for
He
young
gave-
Indy.
And
Young
Indiana
Indy
Jones
the
and the
Hat.
Last Crusade, the opening scene with River Phoenix.
When he gives Indy the hat?
Do you remember Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?
Sean
Barely.
Connery?
You did
I remember
see it,
Sean
didn't
Connery.
you? Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, do you remember River Phoenix playing the
No,
young?
I remember the German lady.
I figured him for a big Indiana Jones guy.
Man, okay.
I am, but I just.
Well, anyways,
That's
they're
not who I
robbing
focused on.
the cross of Coronado. Young Indy, played by River Phoenix, sees it, and the guy that's the head honcho of the bad guys, he's wearing the fedora, has a bullwhip, the leather jacket, and he's kind of, after they they get the cross back from him, and he says to him, he's like, "You lost today, kid. That doesn't mean you have to like it." And he puts the hat on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on the VHS tape, if you bought it, there was a 2-minute deleted scene where he molested young Indy.
You lost today, kid. That doesn't mean you have to like this.
That's on a different movie, Kate. As Indiana Jones and the Ass Crusade.
Paid $49 for that VHS.
So with two
No
innocents.
refunds.
All sales final.
Once Tommy leaves to settle in his room,
No TNCC comments are legally binding.
Dr. Letter fills Pam in on Tommy's troubled
Oh, he
history.
fills her in, all right.
After he killed Jason, no amount of therapy or drugs could snap him out of it. You know what? I can understand that. It was a pretty intense night at Crystal Lake that night.
Plus, do we not learn?
Die! Blood everywhere. This big mutant.
Well,
with
at
a
the
knife
end
in
of
his head.
4, Feldman as young Jarvis, he makes himself look like young Jason by shaving his head off.
He makes masks and he's big into special effects. So young Tommy in the previous film, the only way he figured he could draw Jason in was to kind of shave some of his hair off and make him look like Jason when he was,
And have they specifically stated? I know they do in Part 6, which we're not discussing, but have they specifically stated in Part 5, or is it just obviously implied that Tommy's mother and sister were killed?
Well, we know his mother died in Part 4, but they never mentioned... Trish lived at the end of Part 4. They never mentioned her in this film. In Part 6...
Part 6,
there's
the sheriff
yet
mentions it.
another Tommy, played by Tom Matthews, and the sheriff then says, yeah, they killed your mom and your sister.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know how Trish lived. Well, we could go down a big rabbit hole picking apart inconsistencies in the Friday 13th series. Up in his new bedroom, Tommy stares at a photograph of his mom and sister from the previous film, and it's actually a photo taken from a scene in the previous film when clearly no one was around with a camera to take such a photo. Small pet peeve of mine, I hate it in movies when the character looks at a photo and it was clearly taken from a previous entry in the thing, and it's like, there was nobody taking pictures in that. I would watch that scene. There was nobody taking pictures. You couldn't just get a picture like from their home collection or something.
If there ever was a studio-produced movie where they were cutting every corner to slice pennies off the budget, this is one of them.
Man, they just literally took a still from that first movie and framed it for him to look at.
I totally would have done that.
Then he takes out a large pocket knife and hides it under his mattress.
Because
As he stares at it lovingly.
But not before he strokes the blade seductively.
mentally ill people should have pocket knives when they're leaving their mental institution.
Did you see those two wahoos that drove him from the Unger Institute? You think they were frisking him down?
One of them probably did.
One of them, Billy, that guy. He seemed kind of
He
game.
was-
He
he was
game
all
for
about
anything.
Yes, man's.
When he gets up to put his clothes away, Tommy opens the closet and is startled by a giant rubber spider dangling down from the string. He's then met by the laughter of young Reggie the Reckless,
Reckless.
who can't believe this scaredy cat's jumping at toy spiders. Where he comes from, the streets, you can't be afraid of nothing. Reggie is played by the very talented and highly likable Shavar Ross, a.k.a. Dudley from Different Strokes.
Yes.
I love this guy.
I did not make that connection. All right.
Arnold's best friend,
Yeah.
Dudley.
And I like this kid. I like this kid a lot.
Oh, he's great.
The one thing that I would say is that maybe you shouldn't try scaring the mental institution patients.
You don't think his Gramps should have warned him about that?
I think that somebody
Don't hide in
should
their
have.
closets and try and scare the mentally unstable
But,
people.
I mean, that's why he's reckless.
He is Reggie the Reckless. He didn't play by anybody's rules.
Maybe Reggie the other R word, but I don't know. He's great. I like him in this. Well, two can play that game as Tommy...
Reggie the Rambunctious?
Yes.
Yes.
That's where I was going with that. I believe we'll also have a line of medicine to make you a little more rambunctious. Doctor, you working on that in the laboratory?
All sales final.
What's in those pills?
Well,
I
next
mean-
scene.
A proprietary blend?
Proprietary blend.
That's my notes.
Or did I say too much?
Not approved by the FDA.
Not approved by the FDA. All sales final.
I mean, there are certain trade secrets that we don't want to divulge.
Ancient Chinese mystery.
Six demon
Ancient-
bag?
Ancient Chinese mystery. Well, two can play that game of scaring people as Tommy bends over and throws on one of his homemade Halloween masks and scares the shit out of Reggie the Reckless. Teach him a lesson. Remember, the last one, Tommy's a very talented mask maker.
Yeah, he
So
is.
he's got a whole duffel bag full of
That's all he brought.
Now known as Reggie the Wet Pants.
That was your old football name, wasn't it?
Moving on.
Remember in I just
tackled
like how
very, very
not
hard.
only at the Unger Institute for the Mentally Insane did they let him have that huge knife, they also let him continue making terrifying masks.
It's his outlet.
It's a nice hobby.
He had those hidden in his Army issue duffel bag that he brought from the Unger Institute.
That's not where he
I guess
has
it
it.
Like,
really
You're
does
not a
address.
shoddy
Unlike the
craftsmanship.
other residents who were hiding pocket knives, and oh wait, that's him too.
Well, get this. Reggie isn't a fellow cuckoo like Tommy. He's just here visiting his
In highly technical terms.
He's here visiting his Gramps, who works at Pinehurst as the cook. Man, what an amazing summer vacation that must be for Reggie. Son, pack up. We're going to take you to live with Gramps at the halfway house filled with psychos and
I just think that would have
cuckoos.
been funny if Dr. Matt said that. Look, Tommy, we just want you and the rest of the cuckoos to be able to adjust to society.
Doctor, is that your man of medical field?
Yes.
Is that the proper term for these people, cuckoos?
No, Cade, cuckoos isn't a proper terminology. We use cuckoo bananas.
Cuckoo banana pants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the pants don't manufacture, just cuckoo bananas.
Cuckoo bananas. Okay.
One flew over the cuckoo banana nest.
Oh, they did use. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
hey, man of letters you are.
Well, their discussion is cut short by the sounds of police sirens, so Reggie runs off to see what's going on. Everyone's waiting on the front lawn when the police cruiser pulls up with two giggling teenagers, Eddie and Tina, in the back seat. Are these people teenagers or young adults? It's hard
They're
to-
young adults.
Are they young adults?
They're young adults.
I know
Young
one chick
adults.
certainly isn't developed like a teenager.
Young adults playing teenagers.
Yeah, I think that's...
Sorry, guys, give me a minute.
I'm going to need a minute as well.
We'll get to her. Okay?
I think Yax makes a good point.
young
In
adults.
the 80s, they
better
cast
be.
young adults, and they were probably, in the script, supposed to be like 18 or something.
Okay.
But again,
Yeah.
it is a halfway house, so there's not really an age.
That's true.
They're all
this isn't a high
young-ish.
school deal.
Right.
This is a...
Yeah, okay. The sheriff tells Dr. Letter that he found these two screwing their brains out in the woods at Ethel Hubbard's property, and he'll let it slide this time. Eddie let it slide. But they're lucky old Ethel didn't find them first. Uh-oh. Just then, Ethel rides up on the back of her mud-caked imbecile son, Junior's motorcycle. She's quite a sight.
Oh.
So's he. The sheriff puts on a face. Good morning, Ethel. Don't you look lovely today? Oh, horse shit.
She's honest.
She wants this loony bin closed down. They're all crazy, and these crazy perverts don't respect other properties. You tell him, Ma! Junior yells out, to which she immediately looks at him. Would you shut the fuck up? She warns them all. The next one she finds on her property, she'll kill him. Then she jumps on the bike, shoots them all the middle finger, and they ride off.
What a nice neighbor.
Ethel is played to perfection by veteran actress Carol Locatell. And this is a cool little piece of trivia. Director Danny Steinman was such a fan of this curly permed wig she wore. She starred opposite Burt Reynolds in Sharky's Machine. And she wore this wig in that. And when she came to audition for that, he's like, Where's
Where's your wig?
what's wrong with your hair? And she's like, oh, that's a wig. He's like, do you still have it? You can have the part, but you're wearing that damn perm wig. Oh, man, she's a little firecracker.
And she played in Sleepaway Camp 2.
2.
She, when Angela, played by Pamela Springsteen.
At the end of the movie, the old lady that picks her up in the truck.
Okay.
I'm too fat to fuck and too old to drink.
That's her. She's awesome.
She is pretty awesome.
She like, thanks for picking me up. Ain't no skin off my tits.
I'm gonna write all these down. That's gold right there.
Well, later on, the excitement has died down. Two of the young ladies, Robin and Violet, are hanging laundry outside to dry, while troubled loner Vic...
Oh, dude, one thing, man. That's a great bird she shoots. She gets on that motorcycle.
man.
She goes,
It's just-
that's it.
But, dude, it's one of those long birds where, like, her middle finger seems like it's like this, like she doesn't do the folded other finger.
What
no,
what I like is that
She
it
gives
wasn't.
the full.
It's the full this thing.
Other fingers are completely bent down.
But what I like is that it wasn't like held out, like look at the bird I'm shooting. It was just like an afterthought. Fuck you, and then
you.
gone.
Dude, the first
Like
time
she
you
does
and I
that when
saw
she
this
leaves
movie,
the general store.
the first time you and I saw this movie, we laughed our ass off at her.
Oh my
Would
God.
you shut the fuck up?
Oh, man, she's great. Well, Robin and Violet are hanging laundry. Loner Vic, played by troubled loner actor Mark Venturini of Return of the Living Dead fame.
yes.
Played
You think
Suicide.
this is some kind of costume?
The guy with the chain.
the
in
leader
his-
of the bad
Are
guys.
you fucking shitting me?
No.
It's a way of life.
Oh, he got.
well, we'll get to see another one here in a little bit.
Sorry, guy.
That's him.
No, wait. Oh, wait. Yeah, the guy chopping wood.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay.
I thought you were telling me the other guy was.
Joey, the fatso?
Joey, I was like, oh my God, what happened to him?
That was just like, what, a 2-year difference?
Yeah.
System stayed down forever.
I was like, I totally don't want to body shame this dude, but dude, what happened?
Oh,
No, I
now
thought-
look, he's body shaming.
I'm sorry, I just thought this guy, that other guy was more like a Jonah Hill knockoff.
No, I like this guy a lot better than Jonah Hill. This guy's
But
talented.
also,
This
I
guy's
have
got
to
some
say, at
talent.
this halfway house, I don't think I'd be leaving axes out.
They're everywhere.
Or letting them.
Farm equipment, you name chainsaws.
Trying to reintegrate him to society. Give him
Kids,
that.
they're going to live on a farm. These are all city kids.
No. You got to be able to
Maybe
do
teach
chores.
them-
Said
Teach him
that
how to
doctor
balance
was
a
really
checkbook.
laid back.
Doing chores helps establish responsibility.
No, Dr. Matt should have these people learn how to balance a checkbook, go to the grocery
Yes,
store.
but-
He's got him doing his chores.
Chores for said, people at this house should be, wiping down windows, mopping floors.
Not handling
that's
deadly implements.
No. You've got a cook in there. No sharp knives for them.
Hey, one medical professional to another, I absolutely like Dr. Matt style. That's the way I'd be running things.
Sure do eat a lot of soup here. Well, we can't give them a fork.
Vic is aggressively chopping felled logs with a giant battle axe. Like, we're just trying to reintegrate him into society.
He's going to be a log chopper.
But I really love the fact that he's not just he's not like, I gotta cut this log.
No, it's
It's maniacal.
It's intense. He would a few years later commit suicide.
Oh man.
So his name was Suicide in Return of the Living Dead. And he committed
Oh
suicide.
man. I'm surprised I didn't recognize him, but I mean, now that you told me that,
Well, he didn't have a chain through his nose, and yeah. Chubby, mentally slow Joey strolls outside. Mentally slow. Strolls outside and tries to help them with their chores, but he ends up just getting his chocolate-covered hands all over some of the
Okay, the clinical term is brain moron.
brain moron. Thank you, doctor. I thought I was not being technically correct.
That's not right.
He gets his little chubby hands covered in chocolate all over some clean white
Well,
bed
he does
sheets.
come walking out of the front door with literally a chocolate bar in his hand, another one in his pocket, three more in his other pockets.
Did they have to put chocolate on the corners of his mouth? I'm like, I get it. I understand.
Again, Tut, reintegrating to society.
I'm just saying that was a little over the top.
Well, for his apparent screen time, they really needed you to get that point across.
And they did.
Because
I
he's
got
on screen a total of 3 minutes.
Yeah, he does look like he just walked out of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Gus's Gloop?
But yeah, so he ruins these fresh white bed sheets with his chocolatey hands. The girls scream at him to go away. So he makes his way over to Vic, who really doesn't need or want Joey's special brand of help.
Or anyone around for that matter.
His intense wood chopping is
Joey
being
does-
distracted.
Joey can't take a hand. He tells Vic, my whole life everybody's made fun of me and called me a useless pig because I'm an orphan. I don't think it's because you're an orphan.
As he's shoveling the chocolate into his mouth.
But you know
Let's
what?
not body shame Joey, okay?
I really like it here, and I know I can help people. Vic screams at Joey, I hate it here. Keeps chopping wood. Leave me alone! Hey, Vic, I snuck out an extra candy bar. You want it? No! Dude, Joey puts it on the log. Well, maybe you can just eat it later, Vic. Vic takes his axe and cuts the candy bar in half. Oh, man, that pisses Joey off. You know what, Vic? That was uncalled for, man. That was really uncalled for. Well, Joey will soon learn that Vic doesn't like being told his behavior is uncalled for. And Joey's really bad at reading cues.
Yeah.
Leave me the fuck alone! So anyway, Vic, I'm gonna chop your fucking head off. So here's what I was thinking we do later.
And
Hey, you're really out of line this time, Vic. That was a good candy bar. Well, he turns his back to Vic, big mistake, and Vic charges at him with the axe and sticks the blade right in Joey's back. And that's just the beginning. He then goes on to just hack this portly fellow to pieces.
Not ready for society.
Doctor, do you think Joey will ever eat chocolate bars again?
My God, I don't know how he would get his hands on them since he's been chopped to smithereens. His digestive abilities must be just in shreds, literally.
No, I actually saw his digestive system just slung over the log.
You stole my thunder because I was like, I applaud Joey for standing up to himself, or for himself, as he should.
Yeah.
But I think the doctors should have probably started working on how to interpret social cues.
And maybe work with Vic on his anger issues?
Well, that would have been cool, but
After
apparently-
the firewood's chopped, we're gonna need a fire
Once
tonight.
you get that firewood chopped, we'll start
Pam
working
and
on
I
some-
want to have a little date night by the fireplace tonight. Keep going, Vic.
This house doesn't have internal heating. We need that wood.
We love you,
filled
Vic.
by
When
This
you're done-
whole system was just geared to.
When
to
you're done with that, I'm
accommodate
gonna
Matt
need you
and
to- I'm
Pam's little love
That sucks
nest.
that the dude
When you're done with that wood, Vic, I'm going to need you to smelt some iron ore out back.
He could have been like one of those cool bit actors that just always popped up.
He could have been the next Billy Drago. He had a really cool screen presence. Yeah,
I liked him.
but he sure plays disturbed, angry fellows very well on camera.
And now we know why.
So not 10 minutes after it left, it's not even back to the police station. The sheriff's car has to turn around and come back to the house.
To pick up the pieces.
Literally.
Is this the one where they do like the cop show shot
Yeah, over the siren.
over the siren?
The old-timey siren.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of
60s.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, all right.
It's like the opening of Dragnet.
it really
Well, they
was.
still technically. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be like a small town or out in the boonies, so to
I
speak.
guess.
So
The sheriff, let's get on our horses, head down to Ethel's place.
I just for some reason that one scene because
That is a
the-
staple, though, Doctor, of these films,
Is it?
especially like the first 4 films. All ambulances, and you'll see an old-timey ambulance in this later, and cop cars are like they're straight out of the 50s.
Yeah, they look like the Ghostbusters Ectomobile. It's
Okay.
ridiculous.
They always do that. I don't know what.
all right.
Like you're saying, maybe budget, the small town, they could
I
afford
think
the
that's it,
older.
man. These movies were
No,
were
I mean like
keen
the
on...
town budget. Like Crystal Lake
Oh.
can't afford sweet new cop cars, so they just get the old
I don't think there was
shit.
that kind of thinking. I think the producers were, we don't have the budget, let's get whatever we can.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of odd.
It's
It
very
was-
out of
we
place.
need a
Well,
cop
yeah.
car and a couple of ambulances.
And I mean-
we've got these.
I understand like not having the budget for like modern day police cars and stuff like that, but just that shot is iconic and it was done on purpose. So I'm kind of curious as to what that thought process was.
We've got some vehicles on the back lot. We use them for James Cagney's White Heat.
We'll take them. Well, it turns out the kids used that white sheet that Joey stained with his chocolate fingers to cover his body. It was going to be really hard to wash anyway, so
Yeah,
You bury Jason with his mask, may as well bury Joey with some
And
chocolate.
bars.
they're learning life skills.
Getting
ruining
ready
ways.
for society.
Or maybe they figured, you know what, we're going to have to wash it again. Might as well.
Wrap his fat ass in it.
Actually, if we use the sheet, we don't have to watch it again.
Yeah, see?
They are learning life
learning.
skills.
Dr. Matt tells the sheriff that Joey's mother died during childbirth. No shit. You see the size of his melon?
The sheriff didn't
but
say that.
I also put
No, I'm
It would have
sorry.
been funny if he did. No shit,
it's-
Matt.
it's-
Look at the guy's goddamn noggin.
this what I you say you put the sheet down, but I just really chuckled about it because then they come back and then they like just hang on it for a second. I'm like, maybe it wasn't such a good idea. So let's this mutilated body. Let's put this white sheet on top just to absorb all the blood.
The blood, it's just these huge blood pools soaking through it. Maybe they're not learning.
Yeah.
I spoke too soon. But no, Dr. Matt tells the sheriff, because, who do we need to notify for the family? The mom died during childbirth, and the father took off when he was young. So there's no family that wants anything to do with this dead kid. One bubblegum chewing paramedic, blowing bubbles, pulls the sheet off the body and laughs as all the teens recoil in horror. Bunch of pussies.
pussies.
Well, why wouldn't they be? I mean, if you actually look now at you can see the mutilated body, and literally, it isn't like he just stuck the axe in his back. He literally hacked him like
Yeah, he's like
it's
digging it in there.
15 like chops in this kid's back. His arm is severed.
Well, and then
Great delivery of that line, though. Bunch of
his
pussies.
partner, Roy, and the other paramedic, he's just as much in shock as his kids. He can't really do anything. Come on, Roy. Time to get our hands dirty. And Roy, he's just... We stay on Roy a long time as he's staring at this kid. He's a paramedic, but, Crystal Lake, they don't get a lot of...
Anyone else,
Well,
like, facially...
even if you're a paramedic and you're hardcore, there's still going to be some shit that kind of rocks you.
Well, they may not have been like, it could have been his second or third day on the job. Like, I never expected this.
And apparently this kid did a great job hacking him.
The camera stays on Roy's face, though, a little long to let you know something's going on.
Obviously not in body or size, but didn't Roy in the face kind of remind you a little bit of Lou Ferrigno?
Yes, he did. He,
A little
he
bit,
always has. Yeah.
yeah.
How funny would that be if Lou Ferrigno was the paramedic?
That would actually make more sense.
Yeah, why not?
The movie ends there when he just kicks everybody's ass.
We then joined two teenage greasers, Pete and Vinny.
Wait a minute, hang on, because there was one scene in this that I was a little bit curious about. The sheriff says something, and it's like the camera zooms in on the sheriff, and he like says something, and all of a sudden that paramedic, they're lifting the body. It's like, you say something?
Oh, no, that's later.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was here.
No, that's later.
Okay.
That's later.
All right, never mind.
That's after the scene that Cade's about to describe involving the two guys in 1985 who
The
were dressed like
greasers.
1953.
Before I get into this great scene with these two clowns, I am in the final third of the cigar.
Same.
Doctor, you're almost there. Yax, you're almost there as
Yep.
well. Right now, it is still kind of where it was in that medium spot with the increased strength, getting the real heavy coffee, just as equal doses of the Nicaraguan component, the earthiness.
Yeah.
The peppers kind of died down a little bit on the nose for me.
Yeah, it's still a little bit there for me, but
It's not burning hot. I got some more life out of this thing. Construction's been great. Burn line's been solid. Airflow's been great. Where you at, Yak?
That mineral component is the primary factor I'm getting. The pepper is gone. The chocolate has doubled.
Get a lot of chocolate.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more.
yeah.
And then, I mean, it's almost, I don't know if it's maybe the chocolate component, but there's just a sweetness now that I'm getting, and I don't know.
Really? I have not got.
I'm not knowing where to put it. I'll put it like that.
Yeah, and it's not like a heavy present sweetness, but it's just a lingering sweetness that's there, and I like it. I think your chocolate, for me, I'm getting chocolate all across the palate, which is really, really good. I'm constantly surprised at how light this is compared to the Perfecto. Which one thing I will say, in terms of box press cigars, Southern Draw, I think, has mastered the box press. Their box press offerings are really, really good, and I have really appreciated that.
Not only the box press, but the Perfectos.
Yeah.
They construction and design, and I'll even go a step further as far as presentation goes. Their banding. Whether it's the pink Rose of Sharon, which, that was a ballsy move to release a pink banded cigar, but it works. To the, I love the Jacob's Ladder, that kind of dark purplish.
Yeah.
I just, appearance wise, they're right up there with just,
Again, I'm kind of, like I said, I can't go back. Or I can't express enough the lightness of this cigar. That was the Firethorns thing. It was a very light cigar. They cleaned it thoroughly. It just had this light presence to it. This has that light presence, but it has all the flavor. There's no disappointment factor on the flavor here. But again, it's a lighter smoking cigar. I mean, some cigars you smoke and it's like, you've smoked a cigar. It's just like all over everything. And this doesn't have that.
The cigar is making me sneeze a lot. I'm gonna account for that in my rating.
May I have another Lager of the Lakes, please?
You certainly may, Doctor. I will say this, speaking of beers, totally could have gone with a stronger beer for this cigar.
I think so, yeah, definitely. Because the flavor presence is just there, and it's not bad. Oh, don't hand him that one. No, hand him that one. No, don't hand him that one.
Wait till later.
And no, the flavor presence of this cigar is...
Beer needs to be prepared to reintegrate to society.
You can definitely ratchet up the strength on your drink with this cigar. It's going to compete very, very well.
Yeah. I would actually... I know I say this way too often, but man, I'd really like to pair this cigar with a double IPA. I almost went with a Lake Austin juicy double IPA that seemed really good, but it was a little too tropical. I didn't think we wanted to go there with the cigar.
This works very well in that it didn't compete at all with a cigar and lets you really get the full flavor.
I'm like double IPA, yes, but tropical, no.
The first, and that's why
I'm like a good Baltic porter on this thing, would just be creamy and yummy. Not creamy, but amber and yumby.
The reason I did the beers that I did, other than their lake-centric names, is because whenever I'm really excited about a new cigar
You want to get it out
that I haven't had before, and we do that obviously every week on the show, a new cigar. But I was whenever I'm really excited about trying something new, I just want to kind of stay out of its way, and I think this beer did its job.
I agree. There's no competition in the flavors there.
I wish I was getting some of Yak Boy sweetness. I'm jealous.
I don't know where it came from. And like I said, I don't know if I'm...
I think it's that chocolate. I really do.
It could be. Cause
the cigar.
No, I was actually talking about his demeanor. He's a sweetheart. I'm an asshole.
You're not an asshole.
No, somebody wrote that on one of our YouTube videos.
Oh.
The host is an asshole.
They're assholes.
I'm sorry about that. It was a rough day.
You?
No.
Clickbait. This host's an asshole.
Fake news.
I'm a little relieved because I thought it was my mom. Not that much relieved, though. You guys want to talk price point? Why not?
Let's do it.
Oh, man. I hate
What
this
is a normal
part.
Kudzu Perfect? You buy them, what do they usually cost?
About $11.50, I think.
Okay, this one has a very special medio
It's 5 year.
tiempo.
It's 5 year.
Tobacco is celebrating their 5 year, but they're always, like they said,
It is what it is.
prices. Blue collar prices to thank you for supporting them for 5 years.
Yeah, but I also appreciate that he's kind of Saka-esque in the way that the price is the price.
Sure.
It's
He's not going to not pay his electric bill to give us a break.
right. I mean, well, it's just this is what
Why
the cigar
should he?
costs to make.
Yeah.
All right, so man, I go $13.50.
I'll go $13.49.
It's good.
No.
good.
Actually, I'm gonna.
I like
You
that
said
move.
the other one was $11.50. I'm just gonna go 11
Less.
less. Unless he's just gonna go crazy.
That's
but I think
ballsy. It's an anniversary cigar.
Anniversary cigar with a very rare new tobacco added
See,
to
he already
it.
told me it's more, so I'm gonna go 15.
All right. I like the way you did it.
$13.50,
$13.50.
15.
Are you're adjusting it to go to 15?
I said 15.
See, I was gonna split the difference between yours and Yax's original
Well, do
guess
it.
and go $12.50.
All right, there you go.
Well, boys,
$23.
$11.89.
Really?
Doctor, you win.
That
Hey,
is not
it's your
bad,
birthday.
man. That is not bad at all.
You should buy a lottery ticket.
That is not bad.
Not bad at all. I've really enjoyed the cigar.
It is good. I shall have it again.
Man, I always price point's always interesting to me. You guys are better at guessing it. Like I said, my guess was just to split the difference between Tuts and Yax's original guess
Well, we
based
buy
on
a lot more cigars.
based on what you
It's
had
true.
said. But I still look at, cigars are part of the good life. There are ones that are really you can find some real. I hate to use the word cheap, but you can find some good values.
Sure.
But when you're gonna sit down, relax, some drinks, and smoke on something for over an hour, man, $11.89 for this. That's gonna get a high mark for me on price value. That is some outstanding value.
Not only that, the flavor that you're getting for that $11.99 throughout that. I mean, it's a good deal.
I love the transitions in strength. I like the constant, different dominant flavors here, then recede, then another flavor pops up, and they keep going. I mean, that's really, really crafty blending.
Yax guessed 15 based on some comments you'd made, but if you had said 14, would anybody have thought, oh wow?
No,
No, not at all.
I actually wouldn't.
I mean, this is well over, from the time, started, well over an hour smoke. And, I mean, flavor-wise...
14 would cause me to double check in the smoke shop. Like, I mean, that's
$11.89 for
commitment.
$11.89 for this quality is an outstanding value.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're correct, birthday boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 thumbs up on the Lustrum.
4 thumbs up.
Boom.
Shortly, once these are extinguished, we shall light up our second Southern Draw cigar.
Okay.
Back at Pinehurst, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. We forgot. I almost jumped ahead one of the greatest scenes
Yeah, come on.
in the movie. The two greasers, Pete and Vinny, as their car is broken down in the middle of the woods on their way to pick up their dates. They're bickering back and forth as Vinny tries unsuccessfully to fix the engine. Did dudes in 1985 really wear the Fonzie jackets and the greased hair and the rolled up jeans?
Dude, they've got the motorcycle boots.
There was still that 50s movement. It's always been
You still had the influence.
counterculture.
You had the influence of the outsiders kicking in. Swayze and Macho and all them. They still had their greaser uniforms. So there was a little bit, yeah.
And these guys were a couple of romantics.
I mean,
come on, these cunts ain't gonna wait forever.
That's true. Which is weird. I told the doctor, I was like, there's a rumor for a long time that these were the first two gay characters featured in a Friday 13th movie. And I was watching a documentary, and I was like, I never thought about it like that. They're wearing all the leather, and they're kind of... But then you're right. They totally...
there's nothing in that dialogue that suggested that.
Yeah, I never for a sec. I've seen this movie at least
I think
10
it was just
times.
all the leather.
Yeah.
Well,
come on.
I looked at them as simply...
They were poontang hounds.
They're filling that in. I mean, just a couple years prior, movie-wise, Streets of Fire just came out.
Yeah.
And that was a huge... Like I said, that movement, not just within music, but within film... It's always been there for that 50s culture still being alive. And Pete, played by Corey Parker, which, I immediately recognized him. He was one of my, favorite movies, How I Got Into College. He was the lead role in that.
How did he get into college?
Awkwardly. It's actually it's a great transition movie between high school and college. Stupid comedy.
TNA flick?
No.
Does it match my transition into college story?
Probably
that's
not.
pretty awkward.
Probably not.
Okay.
His story does seem pretty awkward.
It includes a young
Anthony Michael Hall.
not Anthony
Anthony
Michael.
Bourdain.
No.
Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, my brain.
He wasn't
my
he was a
brain
young
shut
man.
off.
Orville Redbacher.
Orville Redbacher.
The other guy was an
Goose.
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, thank you.
The other guy was an Anthony Barilli, I believe is how it's spelled and pronounced. I'm not sure that's how it's
very
pronounced.
Italian.
No way.
He had not the lead role, but part of the ensemble. One of the 4 or 5 main roles in a late '80s Vietnam movie that was kind of overlooked, Hamburger Hill.
I love Hamburger Hill. Don't mean a thing.
He was in that. Kind of got overlooked a little bit by with Full Metal Jacket, Platoon. That's actually a pretty good movie.
I love Hamburger
He
Hill.
was the one that was killed by the pickles. Or no.
That was the movie Hamburger. What you guys did without me.
That was Hamburger Hell.
Oh, Hamburger Hill. That was a horror movie.
Hamburger
that
Hill.
character-
Hill. Hill.
That character was killed by pickles.
Had Dylan McDermott, Steven Weber of Wings fame, played the sergeants. It was actually a pretty good
It was a
movie.
good movie. I agree. I like it. Yeah, in terms of it, I think it's an underrated movie.
I think that might be Don Cheadle's first movie, actually.
Yeah,
That's where the
first
song
one I
comes
remember.
from. I got my thrills on Hamburger Hill.
No,
it's Blueberry Hill.
Oh, that was Blueberry.
but that
Courtney
was
B.
in the
Vance,
same,
a
the
lot
same
of
50s thing.
Okay.
Hamburger Hill was a
Racers.
good movie.
Don't
All
mean a
right,
thing.
so these guys are legit. These
Don't mean a
these
thing.
little Fonzies are,
Who would have thought it,
are
huh?
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a frustrated Pete tells Vinny, "Well, you're working on the engine. I got to go take a crap.
You better have this engine ready when I come back, or you're going to be dead."
I got to go take a crap." So in a move I'll never understand, he walks 500 yards away from the car to
Into
crap
the
in the
woods.
woods. Every horror movie, I got to take a piss. 5 minutes of walking with the flashlight. Dude, you're in the wood. Just go.
Still,
Where
if
were
you-
you going to go?
if
I
you-
was like,
The back
out
tire.
of courtesy,
If you
would
did
go
have
an
to take a
extra.
crap, yeah.
You wouldn't go just the other
I'm
side of
sitting
that
on the
bush.
hood. I'm sitting on the back of the trunk.
I tell you this: if we break down in the woods and I gotta take a crap, I don't go near the back fender.
Oh, here's an idea. Hold it.
Or my other question was, is he...
Yeah, 'cause I ain't
he goes
wiping
off
with a
into
leaf.
the woods, I gotta take a crap. Just goes with the flashlight?
Well, he does see that rabbit.
I like Cade's
is
idea.
soft.
If you ever break down in a car with Cade, I got to take a crap. You just drop a trowel right there, right in front
No,
of
I'd
you.
sit on
Well,
the trunk.
I
and
was
lean
like,
over.
if you gotta go that bad, that's intestinal distress.
Cade, I'm
You're
trying to
just-
charge the battery. Charge this battery.
That rabbit's not going to be enough. You're going to need something more to clean up.
Yeah, there's
Come
not.
on.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have had those double chili eggs.
Yes. Why do people in horror movies walk so far to use the bathroom in the woods?
And also, who leaves the road regardless of where you are?
Especially in Lake Crystal Lake. Well, because these guys know about the killings. They
I was
talk
about
about
to say, you should know about the killings.
These crazy killers.
They talk about it.
Let me taunt fate.
In the director's cut, they've just left Dr. Matt's place and reintegrated with society.
Yeah, they've been there for 9 months. They just got the keys and they're taking off.
There's some dude wearing a mask killing people. And you just hear about that guy that just took an axe to that poor kid? It was horrible. You know what? I'm going to walk into these woods.
Hey, as Pete says, he's cunsing away forever.
Well, while Pete is dropping a deuce miles away, Vinny gets a road flare shoved straight into his mouth in a really cool special effect.
Yeah, that actually was pretty
It's a good-looking dummy head. And hey, our third straight movie with road flare. Woods, road flares. There's a method to my madness, boys.
Oh, God.
Is this the year of the road flare?
This is the year of the road flare. And
All right,
to celebrate it, you ready for this?
Okay, put them out.
Burn down the corner, no hope.
All right. I'm just going to write that down. Cade's Christmas list.
No, of
Road
course
flares.
not. I did bring some bear spray.
It doesn't work.
It's nothing but honey. It only going to attract them.
Pete finally returns to the car. Ratatouille.
Oh, God. What the hell is he singing?
Ratatouille.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Car better
Kick
start.
your
I'm
ass.
gonna kick your ass. Ratatouille. Maybe that's why they thought they were kind of fruity. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
He was,
Just making
well,
a
he was
case.
apparently so happy now that he's...
Well, he
shat
just
in
had
the
a
woods.
movement.
Yeah. Can I say fruity? Am I in some kind of trouble now?
Probably.
Do I need to talk to my lawyer? Comments not approved by the FDA. All podcast sales funnel.
By listening to the podcast, you waived all legal rights.
Or in the words of Chappelle, you clicked on our face.
Did he click on her face? Clickbait. And surprisingly, he gets in and the car does... Vinny's gone, but the car does start.
No, Vinny's like literally in the
in
car.
the car. Yeah.
He was
is-
literally like
he was
his
in the
dead
car.
carcass was
it
laying in the engine.
Oh, in the trunk? Okay.
He
when
still
walks
thought he
out.
was
The
working
engine,
on
yeah.
it.
Okay.
The flare that was in his mouth caused the engine to ignite when Pete turned the key.
Oh, okay. But just as the ignition turns over, a hand grabs Pete's head from behind and slits his throat from ear to ear.
Which I thought this was actually... The road flare was awesome, but they skimped on this because he grabbed and slices his throat with the machete, but it's just like literally like a red marker on his neck. And I was like, you did all that good stuff. Well, we just spent all
I was
that
about to
money.
say, yeah,
man,
you gotta-
you gotta
spend it where you
gotta
can.
take it away. Okay.
Sacrifices have to be made.
They
Yes.
must. Back at Pinehurst, Tommy is laying in bed, haunted by the sounds of that night years ago that he killed Jason. He hears his sister screaming. He hears him saying, "Die, die." He rubs his temples.
Dude, please.
I'll take just a little more too.
Yeah,
That's more Scotch Yaks.
I do.
Oh, I didn't mean for all this to happen.
Well, say your system's down.
It's not.
Too late. He rubs his temples as sweat pours out of every pore, but nothing can make the sounds of his past go away. He jumps out of bed and shoves some prescription pills down his throat.
I'm sure those will help.
But they're supposed to. But when he looks up in the mirror, Jason appears behind him holding an axe.
How much?
A little bit.
Tommy closes his eyes tight and then opens them back up to find that Jason is now gone.
The pills worked
Help
instantaneously.
yourself, man.
Either that or that he's just gotten better at this. I get the idea this is his life. We get the feeling that this is how every morning starts for this poor dude. Wake up, see Jason,
Excellent.
have
Thank you, sir.
nightmares.
Dude, want everybody to enjoy themselves.
That's not going to happen.
That's him every morning. This is what he goes through.
Well,
pretend.
you know.
Well, when you're that traumatized, you got the PTSD going, man. You got to do what you got to do.
You got to feel for the guy. As someone who holds a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology, I can say with some sense of authority here, that's got to suck major balls.
It does.
That does suck major balls.
That's it's technical
No,
terminology,
that's-
but that's my diagnosis.
post-traumatic suck ball disorder.
Doctor, that's my
Yeah.
All ball sales final.
PTSD.
PTS.
No refunds.
These products have not been valued by the FDA. All sales final.
These products have not been evaluated by anyone. No refunds.
Even these 4 assholes won't take them. Who do we get to do the little voice at the end of the commercial? Doctor?
Keith.
Oh, Keith.
Yeah.
Keith A. Howell will do it.
All sales final.
All dildo sales final.
The Tuesday Night Cigar Club is not responsible if your genitals rot and fall off. No refunds.
It'd be
No refunds.
awesome.
Dildos may include hazardous materials found in the state of California to cause cancer and other birth defects. All sales final.
To learn about the time that I used a TNCC product.
To learn more about the time I used a
Watch
double-edged
the
dildo,
1973 movie High Rise.
watch the 1973 film High Rise, filmed right outside my dorm at Allegheny State University.
I think we're on to something here.
We have all the pieces. We just don't know anybody that can actually make stuff.
The products.
That's what the paramedic said when he picked up old what's-his-name. We got all the pieces.
Hey, you're opening up your next cigar.
I am.
Smell that cedar sleeve.
Yeah, might as well. Because
Smells like cedar.
It is cedar yakult.
Oh.
That means it's working.
Yeah.
Our second cigar, why not? We'll do it right now.
No shit, Yak. Your foot's on fire.
yeah, I'll drop it. No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Okay.
Join us with cigar number 2.
But
How
the
could you
lustrum was so good.
It was so good. How are we going to follow that up? Well, I'll tell you. The Jacob's Ladder Brimstone.
Sounds dangerous.
Hey, Friday 13th, Jason, fire, brimstone. Huh? Kind of a stretch, but making it work.
Isn't that,
It wasn't until you said it was kind of a stretch. Yeah, it was
wouldn't this be
good.
better if we did Jason Goes to Hell?
Yes. But nobody wants to.
Oh, good job, Cade.
Hey,
good
it had
job.
Keith's favorite Aaron Gray in it.
That actually would be a good podcast
Yeah.
movie next time around.
You know what? Every 3 years we'll revisit. If you remember, we had a lot of fun with Jason Goes to Manhattan.
Yeah.
Jason Takes Manhattan. The principal alone was just...
I'm the one who should be program directing your show, not you. You don't know anything about celluloid.
I'm the one that should be manufacturing the dildos. My name should be on the box.
I know more about sexual AIDS than all of you put together.
You know, Copernicus, if you're gonna... That's totally something he would say. It's a 6x56 Perfecto, Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper, American binder, and 3 different Ligeros in the filler from Dominican Republic and Nicaragua.
What is the American binder?
It's from America.
Dynamite analysis.
Clickbait. These guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, watch this video if you want to see a bunch of fat guys that don't know what they're talking about.
I'm already getting a hint this is going to have another just kick-ass aroma.
It is a Jacob's Ladder.
Prediction from the doctor?
It might
At
It
least
is
at
a-
least as good as the last one, if not
it
better.
might literally punch you in the face.
That Pennsylvania broadleaf is dark and scary looking, much like Jason. It is a really, really cool looking Perfecto with a tiny, tiny foot. Beautiful looking cigar. If you guys will remember, which I realize is a tall order considering how much the 3 of you drink, the original.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying something.
No,
Were you talking to me?
I guess so.
I didn't call you a psycho.
I thought you were talking to me.
Hey, take it easy. Your system's down.
Shut it down. Shut his system down. The original Jacob's Ladder used a Pennsylvania broadleaf Maduro wrapper over an Ecuadorian Maduro binder.
Yeah.
That's been replaced with the American binder.
The American what?
That's right.
Binder.
And fillers from Nicaragua. It was properly billed as a double Ligero. Tonight, boys, we got the triple Ligero.
You know I love me some Ligero. I almost wore my cigar press Ligero.
Doctor,
Sir.
Ligero leaves on the plant are the ones that make hair grow on your back. Give it the strength to make you move mountains and get guys over your head and spin them and smash them into coffee tables.
Taste bombs.
I wouldn't. I'm no dingling.
I'm no dingling. We reviewed the original Jacob's Ladder way back in episode 63, like 40 episodes ago.
63.
Rated it a 93 and named it our number 6 cigar of 2017. Well, now it's 2019. We got the triple Ligero, so I hope you fellas wore your big boy pants tonight. Doctor,
All right.
I just hope you wore any pants tonight. That'd be a nice change. Hey, it's your birthday. You don't have to wear pants if you don't want to.
He does not.
All sales final.
He took them off. I'm kind of curious about this. What was the
doctor
thought
may not wear
process
pants.
on the white, the high contrast white subband?
What would you do in black?
I don't know. I mean, I just think it's a high contrast band.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the dark purple of the traditional
Makes it
Jacob's ladder.
stand out.
Yeah.
Jump right into
It
your
really
vision.
does. I mean, it actually just like boom. Hey, look at me.
Isn't that what you want on the shelf in a
Yeah,
Cigar
I mean,
shop?
yeah, but I mean, just kind of.
before we light up, you guys get anything on the cold draw or the?
Well, I'm definitely getting some, not really hay, but grass on the
I'm getting
cold
like
draw.
a musty kind of charred oak on the wrapper, but that might be because I already lit it to do pictures. I might be smelling my.
I
my
feel like
burnt
there's going
ash.
to be a spice that comes out kicking on this one.
We shall see. If you could help me out here, Yax, I have switched to our second cigar. I'm switched to our second beer,
To the Lake Breeze Blonde.
Lake Breeze Blonde.
Lake Breeze Blonde
I knew a Lake Breeze blonde once.
is from the
She was nice.
Seguin Brewing Company out of Seguin, Texas.
Where is Seguin, Texas?
It is
I
down
know?
by San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I hear a whole bunch of Texas country artists talk about Seguin all the
Yes. It's a nice little town. Not if you're like driving on the 130 tollway, because you'll just zip right through it and not even know you were in Seguin.
It's a tiny town.
It is a tiny town,
Okay.
but it's still good size, but still small.
time. Is that next to the Frio River?
No.
Okay.
Seguin is on the east side of San Antonio. Frio's on the west.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
His system is not down tonight.
System is not down.
Well, let me get out my world map over here. I'll lead you through. No. This, as we said, the Lake Breeze Blonde, as they say, their own, it is the perfect tribute to the South Texas weather, as it is perfect for a hot day. Its well-balanced body presents a malt-forward profile, followed by a floral hop finish.
And you thought this would perhaps pair a little better with the Brimstone as opposed to.
Well, the Jacob's Ladder is, well, the one that we did previously was very strong, a lot of intense flavors. I didn't think the lager would have enough. I mean, it had 0 IBUs. This one has 23 IBUs and it's 5.9% ABV. So I figured it would be able to give something in comparison. Because like I said, I'm unsure of the Brimstone, never had one, but the Jacob's Ladder, I've had several of those, and it is a strong cigar.
This beer actually, compared to the last beer, this beer's got a lot of flavor.
Does it?
It's a blonde.
It is a blonde.
Yeah, because usually blonde's just like a step above pills.
Well, this is a.
or your lager.
I mean,
should
blonde
say.
is an ale, so you're going to get a different flavor profile off of that. It is the blonde ale tends to be the lightest of the
Right.
ales, but it's still stronger in terms of for me, I usually judge it as having a little bit more flavor than a lager.
Right.
Oh,
that's
this-
the way I usually think
This thing
about it. A
has
step above a
this thing has
lager.
a lot of flavor.
So,
Really?
but and like I said, because of the Jacob's
unfiltered?
Ladder,
It is unfiltered.
I figured it would help to offset just what I'm hoping will be intense flavors.
You called this one correctly, Yax. I was going to reverse it. I think lager. I think darker.
Lager is light, unless of course you get a dark lager.
No, not dark. I'm just saying like darker. Like to me, that's a very light looking.
Yeah.
I guess Budweiser's lager. So I mean, it's. But I thought ours was.
Hey, but Charlize Theron drinks it.
She drinks lagers.
Haven't you seen her doing a Budweiser commercial?
No.
Just because, hey, I saw
Yeah, she goes
Jennifer,
in, shoots some pool, and drinks a little fat
Come
bottle
on.
of Budweiser.
I saw Jennifer Lopez driving a Fiat, and you know she's not driving that.
She shouldn't drive anything. She has drivers. Which is what I'm going to get once our business takes off.
You guys haven't seen Charlize Theron doing a commercial where she
No,
drinks
actually,
a
I haven't.
Budweiser?
No, I haven't.
She's like in a pool hall, and she goes over and shows the roughnecks how to shoot pool. She's drinking a bottle of Bud.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, it does if you figure they probably paid her $4 million for an afternoon's work.
One, that's a bad marketing director, and two, that's a bad marketing agency.
Hey, we're talking about it. The doctor
That's
caught
just because it had
attention.
Charlize Theron in it.
Was she wearing something provocative?
By the way, I wrote a review about it a couple years ago. If you have not seen the movie Atomic Blonde, check it out.
Okay, I've seen it
I
on
remember the
HBO
doctor's
every now and
review,
then.
and I think I like her. I haven't seen her in many things, but didn't she have some girl-on-girl stuff in that movie?
You ever see the movie The Mummy with Tom Cruise?
No.
You remember from the
Yeah,
trailer
actually,
the
I-
exotic-looking chick that
Yeah.
plays the mummy?
Yeah.
Her and Charlize have a scene that lasts, well, let's just say, that's
My-
no Pennsylvania broadleaf in my pants.
I actually
My
watched.
systems are not down.
I actually watched Tom Cruise's Mummy based off of your review.
It had its faults, but it was entertaining.
No, exactly. That's
It
what
had its faults.
as long as you tell me it's entertaining, I'll give it a shot. I was actually
Atomic
off,
Blonde is better.
I was actually off the Stranger Things bandwagon until I read his review, and then I was
Go to
like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
TuesdayNightCigarClub.com and read the doctor's reviews.
Please do.
Please do. I got another one dropping. It'll be up there by the time you hear this. It's Halloween season. He's doing a review of a brand new horror film, Candy Corn, that just came out on video
It's
on
got
demand.
another review. Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Read my review, kick your ass,
Kick
kick
your
your ass,
ass.
Ratatouille.
All right. First impressions, yes.
I haven't even let up yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? Let me get him. Let me get.
No. If you want to do the first impression, that's
No.
cool.
I'll
That's
wait
fine.
till everyone has lit up. Doctor, have you lit up?
I have.
Okay, let's give Todd a chance. Down at breakfast, Reggie asked Gramps if he can visit his older brother Demon, who's going to be in the area soon. But Gramps isn't so sure that's a good idea. Oh, really? The same Gramps who invited you to spend the summer with him at this house full of crazy people?
Gramps doesn't make a lot of good life choices.
Played by none other than
An old guy.
No, I know who Gramps is.
Vernon Washington.
Of course.
Otis from The Last Starfighter.
What?
Yes.
You gotta take your chance when you get it. Grab it with both
I did not
hands.
get that.
The guy at the trailer park in Last Starfighter.
Starlight, Starbright.
I totally missed it.
Okay.
Times change. Always do. You'll get your chance. Gotta grab it with both hands. Hang on to it.
I understand why Cade missed it, but I should have.
I love the last
got that.
Starfighter.
That's Otis, the guy at the trailer. Do you now you get it?
Yes, now I get it. I don't know what that little slam by Tut was.
We were on the same page.
It's always nice when the doctor's here and these random characters pop forward and
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's
what you
going
get.
on over there.
That lighter system is not down.
It's not
Hey,
down.
one of these cigars is an exploding cigar.
Who's gonna
Who's gonna get it?
It's everyone.
Punk rock goth girl Violet has set two places at the table for Dead Joey and Dead Vic, and stuttering weirdo Jake can't help but point out that you don't set places at the table for dead people.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
to
Joey.
what?
Well, that's good to know if she's trying to re-enter society as a waitress,
Yeah.
which is pretty much all Dr. Matt is training these people to be, is low-level service people.
He's gonna reintegrate them into society. He didn't say what society.
Their wood chopping program went to hell. I mean,
The whole room is... Are you getting the idea that Dr. Matt may have had this idea as like one of those, like, the Nexium cult, to where, like, if you go into the barn, we'll be branding you with my initials. Pam, hold him down. Like, he's grooming these little kids. Not little kids. He's grooming these young adults for something nefarious.
Well, at least
I actually think your initial impression was right, that he really doesn't want them to re-enter society. He just needs, like, slave labor. He's got a nice little spread out there in the woods.
it's
He
got a
just
nice
wants them
thing
to
going.
chop some firewood and make some candles and set some
this
tables
was
for
my
him.
grandfather's place, but you know what? I guess I could fix it up. If only I had some hands to help me do it.
I think he's a real doctor. What kind of guy would call himself a doctor if he's not really one, though?
It's kinda
I don't know. I mean,
weird.
that's really bullshit. You wouldn't see me doing that.
I would think you would take great umbrage to that, Doctor.
I never saw this guy at the Poughkeepsie Institute of the Technical Science.
The pits?
As it's colloquially referred to as.
The whole room is on edge.
All diplomas final.
Academic credentials not available.
Academic credentials notwithstanding.
The whole room is on edge from the events of the day before, and Dr. Letter does his best to calm everyone down. Calm down, everybody.
Good job, Doc.
When the doc asks Tommy to go get the MIA Eddie
Seemed like a good effort to me.
and tell him that breakfast is ready, he goes to the door and suddenly Eddie jumps in the doorway wearing one of Tommy's werewolf masks. And it causes Tommy to jump back a few steps. Everyone thinks it's hilarious. Eddie is clearly the cool, crazy guy at Pinehurst. And when he starts thumping Tommy in the chest, what's wrong, Chief? Can't take a joke?
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
What's wrong, man?
Don't
Can't
do
take a
that.
joke?
Stop it.
Tommy shows just how much he can't take a fucking joke by throwing Eddie over his shoulders, spinning him around, and body slamming him into a coffee table. Tommy then starts raining blows down on Eddie's chest. He's a beast unleashed.
Tommy can fight.
Until Dr. Matt pins him to the wall and gets him to relax. Relax.
It
worked.
He's so good.
So good.
He's got a very smooth voice.
His methods.
He's like Bob Ross with his paintbrushes.
Yeah.
Relax.
Relax, man.
Just
Relax, Tommy.
Except when he's got his forearm in your windpipe.
We don't have beatdowns here. We just have happy punches.
I can snap your neck like a chicken, Tommy. Don't make me do it. Pam's like, I've seen that side of him. Don't do it, Tommy. Shut up, Pam.
You'll be chopping wood next.
Guess what, Pam? You're on landscaping duty.
Damn it. Oh, your fingers hurt? And your back's going to hurt too?
Meanwhile, over at Ethel Hubbard's farm, she's chopping the head off a chicken, telling it she's gonna
Oh my god.
she's gonna cut it up just to tiny itty bitty little pieces, just like that piggo got cut up over at that fucking crazy farm. Junior laughs at his ma from over at the supper table, and she says to him in one of my favorite lines from any movie ever, "You big dildo, eat your slop."
Oh, God, I can't stand Junior.
Ain't I make the best goddamn stew in the world? Best damn stew, mama. Oh my god, these two.
So which one can you not stand, Tud? Ethel or Junior?
Junior.
Remind you of old high school classmates, perhaps? Or
Oh, no.
No, I'm actually going to touch on that later. I have a theory.
Okay.
We'll get to that. But seriously, Ethel is so goddamn good.
Stay
in this movie.
tuned.
And her scenes with Dipshit Jr. are pure gold. I'd watch a sitcom with these two.
No.
Just living in that
No.
shack.
I believe it was called Mama's House.
Mama's Family.
Mama's Family.
Mama's House. Hee-haw. Whatever.
She did have a little bit of old mama from Mama's Family on there, just toned
I
down.
was just like,
It would have been better if a Showtime HBO show with those two. You fucking dildo.
I know no one will ever give these types of films the credit they deserve, but tell me they don't produce some of the most memorable characters and dialogue of all time. Horror films deliver, always. I can quote this movie all day long, and I do, but ask me to cite one line of dialogue from some Oscar crap like The Piano or La La Land, I can't give you anything from that. I'm at a loss. And so is everyone else, despite how highbrow some cinesnobs, dildos think they are. You can't tell me anything. The Piano was beautiful. Tell me one thing about it.
There was a piano
The
in
English
it.
Patient. Give me some quotes.
Somebody in it
No.
was
The
English.
dingo ate my baby. And that was just because I got it from Seinfeld.
You think there's a line in The English Patient as good as, "You big dildo, go eat your slop"?
nope.
You're correct, Yak Boy. Well, Ethel hears a commotion outside and thinking it's the coyotes who've been killing her chickens, she grabs her shotgun and heads out the door, only to run straight into a scruffy drifter named Raymond. He's scruffy.
Scruffy and
Raymond.
looks like he's been in a prize fight or two.
He's rough. He hasn't eaten in days and he's looking to earn a meal, so Ethel tells him to clean out all the chicken shit from the coop and maybe then she'll fill his stomach. God knows she has enough slop. She cooks it in this big-ass tub.
God dang, it's the biggest damn pot
Would you
ever.
dildos get your hands covered in chicken shit to get some of Ethel's stew if you were starving?
If I was starving, she makes the best damn stew.
I mean, obviously Raymond could hear it, 3 counties over.
Hey, what's it say in my notes after I asked that question? Read out loud.
Tut. I know you would.
He was the first one. Yeah, I do it. I knew
I was hungry. Come
I knew
on.
he'd be down for scooping up chicken shit for some slop.
Damn, I'm starving. I'm
So
going to
it goes back to that summer shandy again. If you were starving and there was nothing else around and there was
I would eat
a
it.
pot
I
of
would-
Ethel
I would
slop
clean out a
and
chicken
there was
coop.
no other food to eat,
I clean out a chicken coop.
I'm getting notes of Ethel's slop. No, Robert Holt, I'm not getting notes of Ethel slop. So she puts him to work. You have lit up. You got a beautiful ash going there. What you getting besides power?
Actually, I'm not getting power.
I'm getting a lot of power on the retro hill. I'm getting a lot of strength through the nose. And then I'm just getting a lot of woodsy notes on the draw.
I'm not. I'm not.
I will say this. I'm getting a very strong jalapeno as opposed to a pepper spice, like a real pepper spice.
Man, I'm missing that.
On the nose, and then I'm just getting woodsy notes. I will say this. I never found the original Jacob's Ladder, if you go back and watch that episode, it did not kick me in the balls like I thought it would as a double Lajero. I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't the ass kicker that I was expecting.
See, to me, I'm just the opposite. I remember the Jacob's Ladder as being an ass kicker, and it's quite a bit lighter.
To me, the retro hill is extremely
Getting a lot of similarities between this and the previous one. Great aroma, great smoke profile.
It does smell really nice.
Definitely getting the pepper.
To me, it's more of a, like I said, it's more of a black pepper on the kudzu, whereas this is, to me, like a jalapeno spice. It's just lingering in my nose. My eyes are actually kind of watering up a little bit. What about you, Yax?
I'm kind of have to agree with Tud. I mean, this one's not really just knocking doors down. I have to agree with you. Normal draw. It's woodsy. I'm getting a little bit of leather, but
yeah,
mesquite
perhaps.
Mesquite is the.
How much, in the opinion of the three of you, does it matter? And I know it matters a lot. Just how much that we've had a few drinks and this is our second cigar. That has to be some kind of disclaimer, doesn't it?
I don't think so, because it's build, and it's certainly, I think, a much stronger cigar than the first one. If we had reversed them, if we had followed this with the kudzu, I think the kudzu. I said the kazoo.
No, you said kudzu.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said kazoo.
I thought I said kazoo too.
This isn't a cigar.
I think we ordered them correctly.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything we've drank tonight is going to influence. I was pretty careful about that tonight. I actually need to take some sips of scotch, because I bet maybe the scotch will. And I'm really curious for you guys to try this second beer.
That's going to be my next beer when I get to it.
Give me one, because I'm getting close.
All right, I can get you one now. But yeah, not on the palate. I'm not getting super ballsy on the palate. I'm just getting that strong mesquite kind of woodsiness on the palate.
I am getting woodsy. I'm getting a little bit of the woodsiness, but man, I'm missing that jalapeno. I'd really like that.
Again, I'll repeat what you said earlier. Newsflash: the scotch and the cigar go well together.
You enjoy
it's amazing how that works.
It is. Have we done damage to this bottle of scotch tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, it's got about a third left. All right, let me get Yak Boy a beer. You guys let me know when you're ready to try
I'm good for the moment.
the Lake Breeze. Okay, we'll come back to the Brimstone. Elsewhere, the sheriff is having his men canvass the woods after they found Pete and Vinny's bodies near their broken down car. Roy, the paramedic, is on the scene. This is what you were referring to earlier. And as the sheriff's like, looks like we got a real psycho maniac on the loose. What was that, Sheriff? All of a sudden, remember, he was so distraught at the sight of Joey. He's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
It was just like
he's carrying dead bodies right.
It's like
subtlety.
It's like he pops up into the camera scene or into the frame, and it's like, "You talking to me?"
Yeah. No, Roy. No.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I was talking to me.
I thought you were talking to me.
Message.
Roy's in much better spirits this time around, as he packs up the corpses. 30 minutes into the film now, and I guess it's a good time to address, as they're talking about a maniac on the loose, that despite several kills using Jason's MO, we've yet to actually see Jason. It's always just a hand
Right.
and some boots.
I don't mind this.
We've met or been made aware of a handful of suspicious characters, going back to Vic, the axe killer, who maybe he's escaped, although I'm sure the sheriff would have mentioned that. Tommy, He's got a sordid past.
Did you notice the sheriff is always smoking a
Ethel-
cigar? He's a rather laid-back fellow.
That's the only reason I trust him. He's smoking that stogie. Ethel has sworn to kill everybody, all of them. She's not afraid to throw that out. That new drifter, Raymond, he looks shifty. Reggie's mentioned his troublemaking brother, Demon, is out there somewhere.
Oh, Demon.
So this entry's kind of playing out at this point like a whodunit, which is entirely new approach, never done before in the series. We always know it's Jason. This one's playing it kind of different.
That's kind of weird because I just went into it knowing it was Jason.
I guess if you just went into it like, but why not see the hockey mask? Why not see Jason? You're there to see Jason. Why not show him? Well, maybe we'll learn why not. Night falls and Billy, the horny orderly from the Unger Institute that delivered Billy to Pinehurst at the beginning of the film, squeals into a diner's parking lot in his muscle car, honking the horn. His special lady, a waitress named Lana, sticks her head out and tells him to wait a minute while she finishes up. And by finishing up, she means going to the restroom and ripping open her top. It's showtime, she squeals.
Yes, it is.
How did Billy score Lana?
It's
Exactly.
the outskirts.
Small town.
It's the outskirts of Crystal Lake. I mean,
I got to work at
from
the Unger
the-
Institute
It's like,
again.
He-
The unpainted hot rod that just pulled up.
He even tells her, she's like, "You ready, baby?" He's like, "I emptied my last bedpan for the night. What do you think?" Yeah, he's a hot commodity in the singles scene in Crystal Lake.
Apparently,
I-
he is.
I cleaned my last adult
I feel like
diaper
that's a
today.
Willer commercial right there. You just cleaned your last bed.
Well, no, that's it. He goes, somebody cleaned his last bedpan and would very much like to party.
It's time to party. And as long as Lana's there, it's party time.
Showtime indeed. We get to see her luscious melons. Is that good?
Yeah.
Safe way to put
Safe.
it.
They are nice.
Apparently, the actress really liked that movie, All That Jazz, where Roy Scheider would always say, "It's showtime."
So did he rip his shirt off?
And she asked the director, Danny Steinman, she's like, "What do you think if when I rip open my top, I say it's showtime and I jiggle them around?" And imagine this, Danny Steinman's like, "I like it."
That doesn't fit with the. What am I saying?
We're doing a okay.
And guess what, boys? I liked it too.
As he combed through his script, that's not part of this. That's not part of this.
What did you dildos think? Did you like it?
Yes.
Yes.
It was aesthetically pleasing.
Okay. I thought I'd...
Also,
I
it's
didn't know
final.
what to say because I didn't know who to refer to because I thought you were talking about those dildos. Not me.
I was. Well, while she's getting ready to party, Billy's out in the car getting a jump on things, or should I say getting a bump on things,
Getting a bump.
as he lines up a mirror with some cocaine and just starts snorting his brains out. He's shoveling a bunch of cocaine up his nose,
It's the
or as he
80s.
calls it, preventative medicine. Doctor, have you ever heard that used before?
Of
I
course,
thought
it is.
Preventative medicine was like vitamin C and whatnot.
Well, there's a lot you don't know about medicine, Mr. Cade. There's vitamin C.
That's true.
There's vitamin D, which of course comes from the sunlight, and cocaine at the turn of the century was used as an anesthetic and brain serum.
If it's good enough for Freud, it's good enough for the doctor.
Certainly good enough for Billy.
It was good enough for
It's good enough for Billy.
But what we're going to learn is that Billy was lacking iron.
He was definitely lacking iron. Back inside, Lana squirts some breath. That's right. Back inside,
System down.
Lana squirts some breath freshener in her mouth and then another squirt between her tatas, and she's ready to rock. As she exits the restroom, a cat jumps out at her inside the diner and
come
scares
on,
her.
The cat scare.
To the film's credit, it's our first jump scare, and it's a throwback to a great one. Is it in the end of the beginning of the second Friday the 13th, when the cat jumps out of the refrigerator, or with the? It's a really good
Wasn't
jump
that-
scare.
Okay, no, 3 is where that fake, ridiculous-looking snake comes out, right?
Correct.
Okay.
There was
2, you're right. The beginning of 2
beginning
was
of 2, there was a
cat,
cat
yeah.
jump scare, but they haven't done any so far, so I'm okay with it. And like I said, it's the only real jump scare we've had at this point. I respect that. Well, Billy's now all coked up and impatient, so he sticks his head out the car door to yell at Lana to hurry up again, and suddenly an iron axe,
I'm just saying.
is promptly buried in the top of his balding head. And I mentioned balding because apparently the special effects guys made this dummy head that had a full set of hair, And the actor was on set when they did it, and he's like, "Hey, you've seen my bald spot. Like, that's never going to fly." It's like, oh, shit. So they had to wait for hours while they plucked out little hairs to make the perfect little bald circle on there. But yeah, so he's dead. When Lana finally emerges from the diner, women, right? She's been in there for like 30 minutes.
Well, she had to close up.
She did.
She
The
gets
shop because she was ready to open up the top.
Hey, look at
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
She gets in the empty car, and since Billy is nowhere to be found, she sees his Coke and decides to dig right into this mountain of blow.
Now we understand why Billy is getting Lana.
How's a guy cleaning dead pans getting all this Coke?
He gets the Coke because he cleans dead.
I'm thinking
pans.
Coke at the whatever county Camp Crystal Lake is pretty cheap.
No, first of all, it was the 80s. I mean, you know.
I'm also going to say they have a pharmacy.
Oh, you think he's got a source at the Hunger Institute? That's a good point. Okay.
He probably is the source for the Hunger
He probably is the
Institute.
source at the Hunger Institute. Before she can get high, though, and erase her miserable existence of being a greasy spoon waitress on the outskirts of Crystal Lake,
Who fucks Billy?
who fucks a guy named Billy who cleans adult diapers for a living.
He's apparently bringing in, 3 kilos of uncut Nicaraguan.
There you go.
The mysterious figure shows up and buries an axe in her belly.
Oh.
Again, we don't see the killer. No hockey mask, no Jason.
Which is like twice as worse. I mean, Billy got it to the head. She gets it right in the stomach.
Just
This guy
saying.
stabs a lot of people in the stomach.
Yeah, he kind of does.
It's just like waist level. It's easy.
Just saying that maybe Lana could have gone.
Which is a little bit of a clue. Because
Just-
Jason was more of a guy that went right for the noggin.
Headshots. That's true.
I'm just saying that maybe you should give Lana a
As
pass.
a long hardcore fan would know that he's not following Jason's MO. But maybe things are about to change as far as Jason's concerned. The next morning, we join Tommy as he looks out his upstairs window. He sees Eddie and Tina running off into the woods, some chickens milling around, and then boom! Zooms in on Jason standing outside in all his glory with a bloody axe in his hand. Zoom back up to Tommy as he stares down at Jason. Jason stares at Tommy. Tommy stares at Jason. Tommy rubs his eyes, opens them. Jason's gone. Just the chickens again.
Okay, I get it.
Back in town, an irate Mayor Gibb is giving the sheriff the business. He wants this psycho found right now. This is a small town, and small towns are supposed to be safe.
And we got the 4th of July festival coming up.
The sheriff,
Typical horror movie mayor.
the sheriff takes a puff on his stogie.
I actually like
know
that.
who it is. Oh yeah, well tell us. It's Jason,
Jason
Voorhees. What are you? I think I got too much on the sun. Too much.
No, it's some sort of New York Italian mayor in Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees.
Boy.
Jason Voorhees.
I think you've been out in the sun too much.
He's been cremated.
Oh yeah? Dude, the sheriff stands up in his face. Did you watch him get cremated? This is Jason's work. So the mayor picks up the sheriff's ashtray and dumps the ashes.
There's your Jason Voorhees.
There's your Jason Voorhees. About to make about a move.
Don't disrespect the Voorhees.
Conserve.
Conserve.
He tells the sheriff, it's your ass on the line. I want a live suspect in custody now. Doctor, you and I have seen these movies more than anybody. I think this is the only appearance in one of these movies of like a mayor or a government official who's worried about like public perception and getting the whole Jason thing under wraps. We never had this before.
Well, and the director's... Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
and Friday the 13th, yes.
This is the only time
It's
we
a
get-
horror movie staple. It's the first time in Friday the 13th you see it.
Yeah. No, we talked about it ad nauseum. King Cobra.
Every shark movie
Every
ever made.
shark movie ever made.
Yeah, it's the first time Part 6, the chief's a little concerned, but this is the first time you see... I think this is the first time you see a mayor of Camp Crystal Lake.
In the director's
He didn't
cut-
want to hear it.
We've got the Crystal Lake Regatta sailboat
I was about to
race.
say, in the director's cut, it's the Pinecone Festival that's got to go on.
Sheriff, we've got the Crystal Lake Rubber Ducky race this Saturday. Here's your Jason Voorhees.
We join horny troublemakers Eddie and Tina,
Oh, thank you.
played by the stunningly top-heavy Deborah Voorhees.
Thank you.
No relation to Jason.
How cool is that? The actor's name is Deborah Voorhees.
It is.
This was, Cade, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first movie where you hear Jason's last name. He was never known as Jason Voorhees in the first 4 movies.
You might. I'm not sure.
I believe that's a trivia that it was just Jason, and then this is finally Jason Voorhees.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention to that.
Tut's thinking about Deborah Voorhees.
Well,
Who isn't?
Who can blame him? Oink oink, my good man.
As these two frisky kids once again sneak off into the woods to get busy. You know, I can see with the other young adults that they clearly have some apparent mental issues, but with these two, it seems their only disorder is they can't keep their pants on. They seem normal other than that.
Reintegrating to society.
Yes, please.
You think Dr. Matt just likes keeping Tina around?
All bra sales final.
Yes, please. Pam's like, she's ready to be released into society 3 years ago. No,
Whoa, Pam. Whoa.
No, we need another...
We need to keep Tina around for a while.
Another counseling session.
She's been here for 4 years. I'm watching her very, very closely.
You still feeding her all that cream cheese?
Let's go outside and chop some more wood.
Get her more cream cheese.
Tommy, I don't know what you're looking at that window, but if you go round up those chickens.
Wait a minute. Reggie's not milking the cows. Tina. Okay, here we go. It's got to be done. Anyways, after sharing a little doobie to help release their non-existent inhibitions, they're all over each other every second of the day. They're both instantly naked and going at it on a picnic blanket like a bunch of sex-starved bunny rabbits. But of course, they're being watched from nearby.
One of my notes.
A figure's watching them through the trees.
Who could it be?
Well, I knew from the deep breathing we hear, Jason doesn't do that. He doesn't have lungs. He doesn't breathe anymore. Sure enough, it's that creepy drifter Raymond watching them.
That filthy bastard.
He's licking his lips as Tina moans in ecstasy just 10 yards away. But before he can reach down into his soiled trousers and join the party, someone jams a machete right into his gut. Wish it would
Poor
just
Raymond.
lopped off his drifter wiener.
No.
At this point, I was
reintegration
actually
into
like,
society.
why bring this character on board?
Well,
It's all part of the mystery.
I think he was a MacGuffin. He was just something
Just somebody to
Somebody
focus on for a little
maybe
bit.
keep us curious.
Yeah.
Well, Eddie lasts a whole minute and a half before he's got his rocks off, and he tells Tina, which is another thing in horror movies I'll never understand, when the guy finishes, I gotta take a shower. Eddie's like, I gotta wash up.
I'm not leaving your side ever.
She seems
Really, aren't you just going to lay back there and
Yes.
No, he's got to go
let
jump
the
in
wind clean the perspiration off
Yeah.
you?
He's got to go jump in the lake and wash off.
No.
I figured he'd probably just be the asshole that rolls off. So tired, I gotta take a nap.
If only I had some pillows. She seems satisfied enough as she lays down to wait for her stud's return.
Thank you, cinematographer.
So, Yak Boy.
Huh?
I don't know when exactly the word pendulous was created in the English language, but is it possible that it was created in 1985 upon someone watching a totally new Deborah Voorhees laying on this blanket on
It
her
is
back?
entirely possible.
There's been quite a few times where you've used the word pendulous that I've questioned because they weren't pendulous enough in terms of their sway.
Pendulous comes from the term pendulum, which is part of a grandfather clock. Therefore, it comes from Gothic horror, the novels of Horace Walpole. However, grandfather clocks are pretty much passé by 1985, so pendulous would infer a lot of swinging. And while there was some swinging, I would say there was some swang.
No, that was swing.
There was also, there was some swang and some firmness. Pendulous?
I'm going with pendulous. I'm sorry.
Pendulous infers maybe a little droopiness.
Mm-hmm. And she had the perfect amount.
It was...
Oh, she had the pendulous.
All sales final. Is your system down? It's time for the Tuesday Night Cigar Club Sexual AIDS.
Wow, these could be the most amazing knockers we've ever seen in a movie here on the podcast, and that's really saying something.
She's also really cute.
Did you guys like the two of them? I mean, her. I mean, her as a person.
I mean him.
I think her character was great.
There was a person wrapped around those things.
I think her character was great. It was awesome.
Yes,
she's my favorite character ever in any movie ever made.
She's really cute.
What was her name again?
Yes.
Yeah, she's got a face.
It's all there.
Got a mouth and ears, I think. I didn't really look at it.
I guess as a
was
doctor, I
cute.
prefer a more holistic approach. Holistic approach. All sales final.
I also have to ask what was
I love how we're all just kind of like, we're all,
They were really good.
And anyway, then
I wonder
Forrest
what the-
Gump
what the-
learns how to
what-
run on his own.
I wonder what the onus for the guy. All right, we've got the scene laid out, but would it be possible if maybe you took your top off so that it would be more sexy? But I wear a one piece. What if I just took all my clothes off? That would work as well.
if
Kate, why don't you tell about what this director's possible direction may have been for this specific scene?
apparently, due to his background and some of the films he made prior,
High Rise.
he was over on the side, like, that's it, fuck her, ride her, get in there. And the producers who've been making just regular horror movies for 4 years, they were like us. Do we need to get our lawyers? Like, are we in some kind of trouble here?
No, Cade's not fucking around. As the trivia goes, there was a ton of shit cut from this thing. It was Steinman, right?
Yeah.
Starting to get a little hazy. He said, there's a comment from on IMDb. He was like, they cut so much out. He said, you don't get it. I shot a porno out there in the woods. Apparently, they cut a bunch. They had like an almost like serious sex scene going on that the producers were like, we're going to play this at Cinema 5 in Temple, Texas. We can't have this shit in there.
I love how the producers that were seeing those chairs, like, well, I mean, can't stop it.
Let's look at let's show those pendulums.
Was that in the director's cut?
Producers like, hey, other producer, should I stop this?
We'll take care of this.
The
in
other
post.
producer has a machete. All right, just take it easy.
Was it in the director's cut? Was it in the director's
Let them
cut?
finish.
Please
Let
tell me there
them
was-
finish.
Please tell me there was a director's
Pitchell and Philip Baker Hall from Boogie Nights. Hey, I'm a simple guy like butter in my ass.
The thing is, the sex scene is very simple and short. They don't show
It is.
Apparently
Yeah.
not what was filmed.
Yeah.
Almost loving.
It's tender.
Tender.
It's tender.
If your sex scene is simple and short, check out the Tuesday Night Cigar Club sexual aids. No refunds.
No guarantees, no refunds.
No guarantees, no refunds. You've waived all legal rights by listening to me.
Well, she's clearly happy by the lovemaking session. She's happy as a clam, right until Jason, or someone who's going around acting a lot like Jason, stands over her and rams a pair of hedge clippers right through her eye sockets and twists it all around.
Oh, he sticks them in there and then he
Asshole.
closes
He
them.
closes it and
Happy as a clam.
cuts the bridge.
Clam that's been lapped.
I said that to open it up to something. I'm glad you guys
Took me a minute.
picked up on it.
This is the best birthday ever.
Fuzzy clam.
Yeah, he really destroys that. Because you guys remind me, she did have a face, and he destroyed it.
I thought Debbie Sue, Tina, was a very cute lady. She had a very pretty
agree.
face.
I totally agree.
I'll have to go back and look at what she looked
I
like.
appreciate the entire
Oh, yeah.
pendulous artistry.
As do I. TNCC has always been pro-woman.
And she was
All sales
laying
final.
there on her beach blanket.
Still all discombobulated.
She was,
Go ahead.
she was laying there on the beach blanket in the middle of the woods.
Talk
as
slower.
The wind was caressing her.
The wind blew the leaves
The
of the
cool
weeping willow
informed-
trees.
A cool mist blew in from the shores of Crystal Lake.
The grass may have been dead, but the sun-dappled leaves reflected.
I'm just saying, this is the best casting director ever.
The birds weren't the only things chirping that day, my friends.
There was a
Screw you, Jason
feeling
Voorhees.
of hope springs eternal.
I was mad at you for doing what you did to Lana, but now I'm very pissed off.
When a grinning Eddie returns for another round, hell yeah, his ass was grinning. He's got free room and board. He's banging this chick every day, right and left, smoking joints.
Went down to the
good
to
to
the
be
lake
Eddie.
and washed up and
Reintegrating to
reflect.
society.
Eddie, I think you're ready to go out in the world. No,
I don't think so. I need some more help.
I still got some issues, Doc. I still got some issues.
Another 6 months.
I just wanted to really see him be, torn down at the lake as he's thinking over things. Like, man, things aren't really going my way. Wait a second. What am I talking about?
Fucking A, they are.
I just wanted him looking at the lake and see two buoys floating out there and be like, I got to get back.
If only there was something I had to live for.
Oh, right. He discovers Tina's eyeless body, and before he can scream for help, A horse strap or some kind of leather belt gets wrapped around his head, and the mysterious killer twists it with a stick over and over again against this tree, tightening his head until
it crushes his skull.
Tight, his whole skull crushes, and his eyes get pushed through the back of his head. Now he's officially toast.
I actually thought this was an interesting kill.
Great slasher movie kill.
the
Great
most-
slasher movie kill.
I mean, it was interesting.
Both of them, her and him, were great
Yeah.
kills. Yeah.
But as you can say, completely out of Jason character.
Yes, no, he's a simple. He doesn't.
Slash.
It's a Myers kill who's a lot more
Playful.
who's a lot more constructive.
He's
But
playful
my
and
question
inventive.
Jason just does it.
My question is it would be different because Michael grabs whatever is around.
Yeah.
If they had this leather strap there for whatever reason, here's my horse bridle. I don't know why I've got it, but whatever. Wait, when I get back, the saddle, this bridle, we're gonna put it to use.
Well, Dr. Matt was going to have him plow some fields with the horses later.
See, I'm not Jason aficionado, so I missed all this stuff.
Yeah, but yeah. So
Myers is always more. He's always more of a
He toyed
predator
with
that
him.
lays in wait. He doesn't toy around. He toys around. He waits. He's always more constructive with his kills.
he's playful. He sets her up with a tombstone and pumpkins. He is a little more
like the little teeth. I mean, he plays with his
Yeah,
victims a
no,
little bit.
Jason
That's-
doesn't. Jason
no.
We
doesn't.
get all this set up.
Jason doesn't
because
stalk as much.
In 3.5 hours, she's gonna walk by this tree. I just know she is, so it's gonna happen. It's gonna be perfect.
well, Eddie, unfortunately,
He threw the teeth. Damn it.
is toast. You know what goes good with toast? boys?
What goes good with toast? I
Butter?
don't know.
Coffee.
Butter,
Coffee.
Coffee.
What kind of
Coffee
coffee?
does.
bacon.
Any kind of coffee goes good with toast.
Yeah.
And you know me, I love some toast and coffee. And if you like toast and coffee, I bet you'll like Tobacco Special cigars made by the
I'm
almighty
sorry, Todd. This
Drew
keeps
Estate.
going right at you.
The same folks who brought you Liga Privada, Undercrown, Nica Rustica, and more. Your choice of either extra dark Connecticut broadleaf or natural Connecticut shade wrappers envelop a Sumatra binder and Nicaraguan Criollo filler leaves. Before aging, the cigars are slowly infused with Nicaraguan estate-grown coffee. The smoke is medium to full-bodied, depending on which wrapper you choose. Its rich tobacco flavors commingling with the unmistakable aroma, commingling like Tina and Eddie's bodies. With the
Supple, young, and pouty.
unmistakable, pouty, supple aroma of coffee and a little bit of sweetness. I'm a fan of Tina's breasts. I'm a fan of Tobacco Special cigars, and you will be too. So seek them out and just grab them up.
With both hands.
Both hands.
You can't do it with both hands. Not the Tobacco Special. I mean, there's going to be some leftovers of that Tobacco Special as you got both hands on it.
Yeah. I
Well, you
just
get what
grab
you
it-
can get.
You just grab as many Tobacco Specials as you can and just twist and turn and stick your face in there.
It's just
I just
move your hands around to get all of it.
you jiggle those Tobacco Specials. It's
Yeah. It's time to tune in Tokyo with those Tobacco Special cigars.
All sales final.
Also, Swana.
how we haven't been fired yet. I don't know.
Amen. They love us. And you will love Tobacco Special cigars.
Yes, you will.
That evening, Pam is taking Reggie to meet up with his older brother, Demon.
All right.
And Dr. Matt has her convince Tommy to ride along. Huh. Middle of the night, with a killer on the loose, they're head out to meet Reggie's delinquent brother, Demon, middle of nowhere. Maybe Gramps should have driven him out there?
I'm just saying that maybe there's some things that have gone on. You don't send them out.
Let's send Pam, the innocent young blonde. Gramps, why aren't you driving? It's your grandson out there. I might have to make a sandwich for somebody tonight. I'm just going to stay put.
That's why I stayed put. Matt's all, I'm going to need Grandpa here to prepare me a little
Yeah,
sandwich.
but
I might need a grilled cheese at midnight.
We lost our wood chopper.
I think
Grandpa.
I think Gramps and Demon have some
Matt,
issues.
my back is giving out. I'm 72 years old. Oh, your back's giving out? Well, guess what? Now your hands are going to hurt too because you're chopping wood.
I think Gramps and Demon have some issues. He doesn't really appreciate Demon, so that's why.
Oh, no, he was clearly not a fan of Reggie
That's
going to
why
meet
Gramps
Demon.
set this one out. But
Yeah.
maybe you shouldn't have sent the kid out with a killer on the loose.
Anybody but Pam, I would think.
Oh, but you're going to send Tommy too. He's stable.
But Matt's kind of like,
Or maybe if you're the doctor, don't send your girl out there. I mean,
Yeah.
just,
Well, I think he was hoping when she was gone, maybe Tina would come back and they could have a counseling session.
you know they've had the counseling session.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why you guys have to cast aspersions on doctors, but that's the way I would have done
I'm just thinking it's a beautiful profession, Doc.
Well, they arrive at the remote trailer park, and Reggie starts banging on the side of Demon's sweet van. And who is Demon? The super cool leather-clad musician played by Doctor?
None other, sir, than Miguel Nunez himself.
Our second Return of the Living Dead cast member to show up.
Spider.
tonight.
This guy I recognized.
I love.
Spider from Return of the Living Dead, and a guy who, unlike a lot of people from these movies, although
Has
we've
not-
mentioned Corey Parker and Anthony Burley, a long career still working as an actor.
And has not aged a day. He looks
yeah,
just like he did in the 80s.
he's about in his mid-50s now.
Yeah.
And doesn't look
That
too much
sweet,
different.
sweet soul glow fro he's got on
Oh,
right
it's-
now is just
Just
awesome.
let your soul glow. Let it shine on down to me. Just let your soul glow.
And he's great as always. What a charismatic, just, I love his screen presence.
He
He's
chews
always
it up.
great. Oh, and he's also brought along his lovely girlfriend, Anita.
Oh.
Dude, Reggie goes, hello, beautiful, and kind of wiggles his eyebrows. Oh, and then he introduces, I want you to meet my girlfriend, Pam. Boy, she doesn't look uncomfortable in this van with Anita
I
and
like
Demon.
dude.
Hi.
Miguel. I like to meet my girlfriend Pam. Hello, Pam.
Hello, Pam.
Actually, I was thinking that Pam didn't look uncomfortable enough. I was just like, she just rolled up to a van like,
Yeah,
Well, she has been living at the halfway house.
that's true.
sure.
There's-
That is, yeah.
And if we think Dr. Matt is as controlling as he is, she enjoys getting away from there for even half an hour.
Well, get this. Demon is a gracious host in the van, offering them enchiladas, tacos, egg rolls, a slice of pizza.
All laying on the floor of his van.
Just kind of scattered around the van. They wisely decline. But while they're having a good old time, Tommy's confronted by dumbass Junior, who I guess just randomly rides his motorcycle around aimlessly at night. When he realizes Tommy's from the Pinehurst camp, he picks a fight with him, but Tommy ain't going out like no chump. Or more specifically, a stuntman wearing Tommy's clothes, who otherwise looks nothing like Tommy. That guy's not going out like a chump. Dude, those
What,
fight
you-
scenes, that guy
Are you
looks
telling me
nothing
it
like
wasn't
Tommy.
the same person?
Dude, not even a good wig. It's clearly like a 40-year-old man in Tommy's clothes.
Boy, does he deliver those body shots.
Hell yeah, he
He's
does.
a trained stuntman. Oh,
Dude, you
nobody
look,
will ever
you look,
notice.
it's Mike Tyson with a little blonde straw wig on.
I'm just saying
This is
that
gonna hurt you more than it hurts me.
the dude fighting knew how to fight. I was like, wow.
Yeah, but I mean, how am I not supposed to see that it's
Oh
not?
no, it
it's not
snaps you out.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Can I get one of those Lake Silt or Silt of the Lake,
Lake
or
Breeze.
Lake Breeze or
Lake Breeze.
Sandstone, whatever it is?
Doc, you've got your beer. Yax, you switched over to the new beer.
I have.
What do you think?
I like it.
I like it a lot. Finally, something good comes out of Seguin, Texas.
I like it. I'm noticing not the difference is subtle between this and the other one.
I'm gonna.
You get a ton of difference.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I mean,
I'm interested.
obviously, it's they didn't say unfiltered, but it sure looks unfiltered, and the mouthfeel is very dense compared to the.
Actually, rather than sipping it, I actually
Longer
took a
delays.
good gulp of it, and I can tell there's a difference.
It's
there.
got some weight to it. It's got some nice citrus flavor to it.
Very much.
not
I agree with you.
overwhelming citrus though, because I don't like.
No.
Well, like they said in their own thing, it does have a very good floral hop finish. That falls within that. I like it. Probably more so than a lot of other blonde ales that I have had.
This is very. This is way more
and
flavorful.
I'm very interested. Some of their other selections, like I said, this is our first one we've ever had from Seguin. They have a very interesting name, Face Plant IPA.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
No reason.
I like that. There's no false advertising there. Faceplant IPA. Drink this and fall flat on your face like the doctor at Cat's Fest.
I was thinking Cade leaving Romacraft headquarters.
Try to enter your room with not a room key but a Raising Cane's chicken card.
We gotta get a hold of the faceplant.
I know.
They actually had another lake themed IPA too that
about
they
that.
were out of stock.
My key's
on.
not working. He's all, well,
They also have
this isn't
a
your key,
black
sir. It's a
rye.
discount card for Raising Cane's chicken fingers. Yeah.
Black rye,
Black Rye IPA.
Where's my key?
a black rye IPA.
fuck you.
Hail Dorado.
Hell Dorado.
Pale Dorado.
Oh, Pale Dorado.
Like a pale ale.
Okay.
And a Bach and Roll.
Okay. All right.
So, there's some interesting choices.
All right, they got a clever person down there.
I like it a lot. And I needed some flavor and stuff to go against the cigar.
Why don't
Man.
you pass one over this way when you get a
Okay.
chance?
For me, the cigar, speaking of which, man, it's just so that strong mesquite woodsiness is so dominant on the draw. I'm still getting the really nice jalapeno on the retro, but it's not. Initially, my eyes were wide. I mean, it was a pretty bold startup, but it's toned down a lot. Doctor, what do you got some eyes watering over there?
Yeah, I just tried to do
I actually just ate my cigar. Good God, no more scotch for him.
tried to do a retrohale on it, and yeah. By mesquite woodsiness, you're. Can you go a little more in depth on that? I think I kind of understand what you mean by it. Almost like a cooking fire.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like a barbecue,
Right.
like a mesquite grilled.
Okay. Excuse me. We're all just hacking.
Jeez. Apparently,
What's wrong with you
Southern
guys?
Draw
That
cigars-
has nothing to do with the cigar.
Ted, I'm gonna need you to edit out all the sneezes. That should be an issue.
It is allergy season.
Just put a fart noise over every sneeze.
Oh God.
Makes no sense.
That makes perfect
That makes
sense.
actually for us. That makes absolute sense.
No, I've had some eye watering, but I think that's more from just getting the smoke in my face.
Well, Tut's blowing it right in your face. Sorry about
I'm
that.
doing the same to him, so I really can't.
I tell you what, if you want to file a formal complaint with Tut and the way he blows,
My system's down.
I would love to handle that for you, but my system's down right now.
Also, it's final.
Also, it's final.
No, I kind of agree with you. It's got some strength to it. I'm really trying to differentiate between it and the first cigar.
To me, it's a completely different animal than the first cigar.
Yeah, it is.
It is staying on that baseline, just really strong.
I'm missing that jalapeno. I haven't got that at all. I've definitely gotten the mesquite, the woodsiness.
Do that thing you did earlier where you smoke it through your actual nose. Then you'll get it. What are you getting, Yax?
Surprisingly, compared to the other Jacob's Ladder, this one, I don't know. Maybe I have become more accustomed to it, but I'm going to probably say this one doesn't have nearly the just knock your socks off strength.
Agreed.
I'm picking up, like I said, that earthiness
You
of
guys saying
leather.
you know more about blending cigars than Robert Holt?
I'm just saying that
that's what
I'm not.
hearing.
I'm just saying that I'm
I'm
not
not.
getting the triple
Those
Harris
words
system.
never exited my mouth. I simply said that the just overall strength, and I think maybe, the original Jacob's Ladder probably was.
To me, it's not so much full strength as it's full flavor. That woodsiness to me is just over. It's a dense, full flavored smoke to me. But yes, I put the strength at a medium.
Now that you put it that way, I would agree with that.
Doctor and I are on the same wavelength tonight.
Me and Yax are on the same wavelength.
Switch seats. The final third of this, the spice is picked up in the nose considerably, and that mesquite and that woodsiness has kind of gone down a little bit, and the earthiness has really picked up. It's kind of, the first 2/3 were very similar. The final third is so far my favorite.
I will say that earthiness and it's a dry taste on the palate as well. That has picked up in the final third.
Okay, we'll check back later. So anyway, Tommy, stuntman, is beating the shit out of Junior, and right before he's about to come down with the death blow, Pam yells out, "Tommy!" And that's the only thing that can stop his rage. So unfortunately, Reggie's visit with his long-lost brother Demon's cut short. Thanks, Tommy.
Yeah, thanks. Because Demon was a good character. I want to spend more time with him. But I will say that freaking stuntman knows how to fight because he looks great.
Oh, it was good. But this was also a good thing because if you look in the background, right as Tommy was about to, beating the shit out of that, Pam was just about to eat one of those enchiladas.
Oh yeah,
He
you don't want to
finally
do
talked
that.
her into it, so he's saved by the bell. And it is indeed a good thing they had to leave, because mere seconds later, Demon is hit by some serious intestinal stomach pains.
Oh,
It was-
enchiladas!
Must be those damn
I
enchiladas.
actually thought about. I was like,
Think of-
"Is this where the
think of
doctor
Billy.
Yes,
got
that's where
it?"
it came. We referenced this movie in.
Oh, the enchiladas!
Go to our YouTube video, our YouTube channel, and watch our Predator spoof, Hipster. The Doctor, recreating the classic Billy character, references the goddamn enchiladas.
There were some enchiladas here. It just doesn't make any
It's a
sense.
good beer, isn't it?
That's good blonde. It's a really flavorful blonde.
Yeah. Night and day to the first beer. I mean, This
Yeah.
thing has flavor for days. Or
That-
maybe it's just flavor, period, and we're just like, hey, how about that? Dude, his stomach is going nuts. So not only is it a good thing that Pam and Reggie passed on the van food.
He really shuffles out to that outhouse, too.
Doctor, have you ever seen gas station enchiladas do this kind of damage to a man? Other than me, I'm taking myself out of the equation. Because we've ate a lot of weird shit over the years.
My God, the intestinal discomfort he must be feeling from those gas station enchiladas.
Do you think he'll ever eat a burrito again?
I'm afraid it's far too early to tell.
I agree.
he could eat another one.
As
But
Demon
he
is...
might
He
not.
could, Tut. He could, but I'm afraid,
and dude,
as
that-
Cade's shirt says, in my medical opinion, it's far too early to tell.
Dude, that little waddle he does to the outhouse, clenching his butt cheeks together, that is great. As Demon is slowly but surely taking care of the situation on the crapper, the walls of the outhouse begin to shake violently.
Yes, but I'm going to state right off the bat, because this just struck me. He's sitting there in this outhouse.
If you say, why didn't he have a gun?
No,
Who uses an outhouse without a gun? Sorry.
I have to admit, that was a little bit.
Those who
That's-
watch our Grizzly episode will understand that.
that, no, he's in this outhouse. But this outhouse is completely made out of corrugated metal. That is just an echo chamber.
Oh, so like the fart noises. Everybody
It
in the
would
trailer
just-
park's going to hear it. It's
Exactly.
like a concert.
Everybody.
Only Axe figures that out.
Is that the Dave Matthews? Oh, no, that's...
Dun, 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 dun.
Precisely. Everybody's like, I'm just going to go sit out.
So you're saying the
Thus spake Zarathustra.
architect team behind this shitty trailer park in Crystal Lake didn't think the outhouse through carefully.
Well, they were employed by Dr. Matt from the Institute, so
And some of his kids build it.
let's get out there and build that shitter.
No soundproofing.
Get back here and
was
make you dinner.
necessary.
Well, the walls are shaking violently. He yells out for whoever it is to stop it! Stop it! And then he hears Anita giggling from outside. Oh, you're gonna get it now, bitch!
Now you're gonna get it, bitch.
He warns her, but she tells him to relax, saying, Relax, Demon, you'll feel a lot better after you shit. I don't know why I thought that was funny. But he's having a hard time getting there. This shit box is gross.
I actually appreciated that a lot.
As opposed
by
to
the
the
way, if I ever finally form my punk band, shit box.
But I have to say, it's like, why would you be surprised you're eating pizza and tacos off your fucking van floor?
You stayed egg rolls off the floor of your minivan.
Hey, Reggie, I got some egg rolls in a glove box. How can that miss?
Just keeping them warm.
Well, he's really having a hard time getting it all out. So she tries to help him. So she leans into the outhouse door and starts singing a song to him. They're on tour. She's his backup singer.
And
So she comes in, Doc, with,
Ooh, baby,
and he counters with,
ooh,
Hey, baby,
hey, baby, hey, baby,
and they go back and forth
baby,
with the ooh babies and the hey babies.
And then Nunez really gets into it. All of a sudden, he's sitting in the crapper. Ooh, baby, hey, baby.
it's working though. He's getting it out.
I
It's
was
what
waiting
he's
for
doing.
him to, like,
I think Anita's been on tour with him for a while. She knows what it takes to
She knows what to loosen up those bowels.
She's like, yeah, the sausage pizza tonight. We got about three more bars of this song.
She even leans in with some subtlety, like
stanzas.
After the ooh baby, she leans in with some subtlety. Hey baby, ooh baby, ooh baby.
That would have been hilarious. It was like, ooh baby, hey baby, hey baby.
Is literally a corrugated metal echo chamber. It is the ultimate fart box.
And we are moving on.
Hold on a second, Tut.
Oh, he's moving something.
Ooh baby, ooh baby, ooh Tuttle, hey Tuttle.
Well, suddenly her voice stops. He does his hey baby, and she doesn't come back at him. He heard a little gasp from her, and he thinks she's fucking around again. He opens the door. He pants still around his ankle. He opens the door and leans out, and he sees her down the ground with her throat cut open.
Sorry.
Oh shit!
Oh no, baby! Oh no, baby!
It'd be funny if he kept singing. Somebody help me!
Somebody killed my baby,
Ratatouille! Someone killed my baby! Ratatouille!
Well, he slams the door shut and he goes back in the corner of the outhouse to hide. All of a sudden, a huge steel spike comes in and starts poking holes in the outhouse. It gets him right in the leg, right by the knee. That's
yeah, that hurts.
That hurts. And so he's shifting around trying to hide, but you can't hide in that outhouse. And all of a sudden, the spike finds its target, comes right through the wall and spears him through the back.
Is it bad that I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, all right, so the spear just came and got me on the knee there. So I'm not going to go hide by that wall again.
How about you dive headfirst down into the outhouse?
Hey, baby, my career's over.
Even that's not an option.
I mean, if nothing else,
let's get this
I would
over
go
with.
The outhouse is going to be half seat, half floor. If you got down lower, and the guy keeps punching holes through.
Yeah. Well, he's. Hey guys, I guess this was his final tour. His farewell tour.
Baby, ooh, baby.
No refunds.
All sales final.
All jokes are funny. No room for discussion.
No, these jokes
No.
are funny.
Legal rights waived.
So Bronzy shows
Also,
up.
did you notice that Vic, the killer who killed Joey at the beginning, his name was spray painted on the wall behind?
No, I didn't.
Demon?
What was it? Yeah, no.
His name, Vic, starts with an F, was spray painted on the wall, like was here. So maybe, did he escape?
It's possible.
And he's the one on the loose?
So according to
Or
the
is that
trivia,
just a little clue
it said
to throw
Vic
us off?
Fadden was here, and Fadden was a name of one of Steinman's friends.
Oh. So apparently that was not a clue.
Hey, baby.
I didn't pick it up on it.
Hey.
I just saw Vic, and I knew it started with an F, the character's last name. And I was like, oh, maybe he got loose from the prison and decided to go spray paint his name on an outhouse.
If that was what they were intending, they did a very bad job of it.
You're correct there, Tim.
Got some other trivia for you that I should probably inject now, since her character is no longer in the movie.
Inject away.
Are we talking about Tina again?
Yes, we are.
Oh, yes.
In a sad footnote.
Hold on, let me get there mentally. Okay.
Yeah, really get there mentally. And imagine yourself being a teenage boy. Debbie Voorhees eventually became a high school teacher and was fired from 2 jobs once her students found her this film. Which I didn't think was very fair.
No, it's
But
not.
they found the film, and she was let go from 2 jobs as a teacher.
How would they not find the film considering it was on a national release?
Yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt.
well, I mean, maybe this movie was in '85. I don't know if it was 20 years after or 30 years
Here's
after.
something you might not know
She was
about
let
that.
go from apparently 2 different jobs as a teacher
Oh, that's
because
bullshit.
of the movie.
That's fucking bullshit.
The
Yeah.
female students all had A's. The boys, for some reason, had trouble concentrating. Did you know this?
D's.
What I
They were
just
all
said-
D's.
Jeez.
Double D.
Double D's.
Can't believe what you read on the internet, but that's what I read. That she became a teacher and lost a couple jobs.
Did you know this? You know the girl
That sucks, Deborah.
in Friday
Sorry.
Part 6 that has the motorhome that takes court?
The girl from Can't Buy Me Love?
Yes. She was originally supposed to play this role.
And said no because they made her get too naked?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they put her. She ended up being in Part 6.
So I wonder what the other. So Debbie Voorhees goes on to be a teacher, and
God,
I
what
wonder
did she teach? I wonder.
what the moms of the other
Anatomy.
students.
Anatomy. It doesn't matter.
All sales final.
Teaching my little son Timmy, you whore.
Home ec.
But I just, when I read that, I thought, you know what? That's so unfair. Like, I mean, it wasn't. She was in a movie, but I guess, you know, it titillated her male students.
And why would it?
Cade.
Oh yeah. I know. I got the titillating. I'm sorry. We got to move on from her.
Sorry.
When Pam and Reggie arrived back at Pinehurst, Tommy ran off into the woods after his fight with Junior. Stuttering Jake, boring Robin, and Goth Violet are outside waiting for them. Jake tells Pam that Eddie and Tina never return, and both Matt and Gramps have disappeared as well. Pam puts Jake in charge and wisely jumps back. How's that for women empowerment? Hey, idiot stuttering guy, you're in charge. Robin seems fine. Why not give it to her?
She is fine.
It was the 80s. You didn't put women in charge.
Men in the 80s.
baby,
Lies.
baby.
All lies.
Pam puts Jake in charge and wisely jumps back in the truck to get the hell out of there. No. She's going to go look for Matt and Gramps.
I'm out of here.
This would have been, did you not mention this
She's
would have been like
getting-
a Halloween 2 style? Pam's on the road heading out of town.
She is. We see her later.
After this, I'm taking my
She's
hard
getting
nipples out of here.
She's not looking for anybody. Well, down the road at the Hubbard farm, Junior's riding his motorcycle in circles around the family
Oh
shack,
my God, this is a crazy scene.
screaming about Tommy hurting him, begging his mom to murder all those loonies.
I'm just like,
She's inside making a humongous pot of stew for dinner.
Jason, where are you?
Just
While
Kill this guy.
She's shouting as she makes her stew. She's shouting back at him to get off that fucking bike and come
and
inside.
he's just hollering the entire. Oh my God!
There's a camera mounted on his steering wheel of him just crazy driving.
this was like this for me. I was like, you know what? I don't know what else they were trying to draw on, but it was literally like the fucking like the crazies from Chainsaw Massacre.
It's nuts.
It is nuts.
It is-
I kind of like
It's
the
a
scene.
well, I think I know why, Tut. It's a crazy scene with him screaming while doing donuts, dirt flying everywhere. He's even riding his bike up the front porch
That was a little bit. You should have
and around
not
his
done that.
mom is cussing at him. Am I the only one who thought maybe this might be a little glimpse into Tut's teenage years growing up in East Texas?
Tut, get in here and eat your slop. And he's driving that bike all over
When
the
he
place.
talks about his early years, he used to have a motorcycle.
It would have been my 20s, not my early years.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Tut, get in here and eat your sloppy
Tut, get in here and
dildo.
eat your slop, you goddamn son of a bitch.
High school and the home front, I was model. Soon as I got into college, yeah, I'm junior on the motorcycle.
Get in here. Get in here and eat your Stephen F. Austin slop.
Did your mom ever make stew?
Yes, and
Doctor, could you put that in your notes?
it was the best damn stew in the county.
In the
Alright.
county.
Well, Junior's lifelong joyless
I
ride.
got that recipe, and it's a pretty damn stew. It's a pretty damn good stew.
That's going in my notes.
Junior's lifelong joyless ride of misery is swiftly put to an end when a meat cleaver swings at him from
Oh.
behind a tree, lopping his potato head clean off.
Thank God.
Silence.
Once again, dude, that is some wonderful imagery. Junior's joyless ride of misery.
Junior's
Joyless.
lifelong joyless ride of misery, like a joyride. He has a joyless ride.
Actually,
At
with
this
him,
point,
actually
it's not.
with him,
It is
it's
not
not
so much.
joyless.
It's not so much horror as it merely is a mercy killing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, thank God.
Not only for him, but everyone
Us,
involved.
the viewer. Which I gotta say it was a great crafted scene. It actually was.
I
but-
don't think to
oh,
this
God.
day there's been a person who was like, "Oh God, Junior, get away! Don't get it!" Oh, thank God, that son of a bitch is
Everybody.
kill that old
Like
woman.
you think when he's at a horror convention signing autographs, like I hated when you got killed.
And I'll say this. We talked
I-
about where this differentiates.
I really
Where
wanted
this
you
is
to be
true to
eating
the Friday
slop.
series is one thing that they did expertly. Maybe not in the first movie or two, but everything from 3 on out. What they did expertly, and it's part of the Scream au revoir, is they absolutely captured intentional comedy in these movies.
Yeah.
There's a bloody fucking murder violence in it, but they get out there and they say, this is going to be funny.
Yes.
Ethel and Junior are meant to be comic relief.
Well, get this. Ethel is
Yeah.
just as relieved as us to hear the motorcycle's engine finally stop and her son's constant blabbering finally muted.
You would think the crash sound might have drawn a little suspicion.
She hears that every
You
night.
don't think Junior's crashing that thing into the house every day?
Kind of like you coming home after high school.
When the door creaks up behind her, she says, "It's about time, you fuckwad. I knew you couldn't pass up my stew." And I guess she was
gotta try her stew.
And I guess she was secretly wishing Junior had brought over 100 or so friends, because that's how much goddamn stew she made. The pot is as big as our table
It
here.
is. It's huge.
She's got this huge shovel. And she makes it every day. She was making stew the day
It's
before.
like cafeteria stew. It's just like, shh.
We grow 100 tomatoes a day, and we got to make fresh stew. There's like 10 onions on the table. Good God, woman. It's like that pot in Sleepaway Camp.
It was huge.
Only instead of vertical, it was a horizontal pot.
Yeah. It's like that industrial size.
3
It
inches.
was.
It's 3 inches tall, but 10 feet wide.
All right, let me read my recipe here. 15,000 tomatoes. This is going to take a while. Well, she's not going to have to worry about her dumbass son anymore, or anything else for that matter, as the meat cleaver suddenly crashes through the kitchen window in front of her, lodging right in the top of her head until she slumps face first into her own pot
Yes,
of
but
slop.
don't forget
Actually
that
didn't
she's
like this.
holding a tomato and she squeezes it when it
Yeah.
chops in.
Official cause of death, blunt trauma, and drowning in vegetable slop.
I like the.
Real cause of death.
Yes.
I like the.
Doctor?
You can drown in slop.
Do you think there's any chance Ethel could bounce back from these injuries and perhaps make stew again?
My God, her stew making abilities have just must be on fire.
I like the tomato crush. in
Yeah, she
this.
squeezes tomatoes. Like Yak said, it's a really good visual.
But I hated the cleaver through the window. For some reason, that just felt cheap to me.
Well, one, he's toying with her because the door creaks open behind her, and that's not been established. That's a Michael Myers move where you open a door and then you come in the other door. This guy's very just straight ahead kills, so that was different. I don't know. I was okay with it, I guess.
Well, I was expecting him just basically to drown her in the stew, like literally pick her up and just
Yeah,
stick
you like
her
you-
in the
Halloween
pot.
2 bowling.
You like your slop so much. Yeah, all right. Well, I think my theory about Pam getting the hell out of there just to save her own ass, TNCC style, may hold some water, because we now join her on a deserted country road where the old farm truck has stopped running, so she's forced to head back to Pinehurst on foot. She wasn't looking for Gramps. She wasn't looking for Gramps at all.
She wasn't looking for Gramps at all.
She's getting the hell out. She's going to the bus station.
If only we'd cut back like a couple seconds earlier where we could actually hear her cussing. Son of a bitch. Now I gotta go back to this fucking bullshit.
Those
When did he get the fuck out of
Back to
here?
those cuckoos. Speaking of Pinehurst, a massive thunderstorm has erupted outside as Jake and Robin are settling in on the living room couch, watching the old 1951 movie A Place in the Sun. Jake, brimming with confidence now that Pam has put him in charge, chooses this moment to tell Robin, I really like you, Robin. I like you too, Jake. No, I really like you. I really like you too, Jake. She's watching the movie, eating popcorn. I wish to make love with you. What? I want to make love to you.
All sales final.
And dude, she goes from a giggle in his face to like
laughing.
belly roll laughing in his face.
Oh.
Oh. It is a truly brutal rejection.
Never happened to me.
This guy died, and Jason wasn't even there.
Yeah, no, his insides were dead before Jason ever got hold of him.
I'm
Jinx,
going to chop off your head. Please.
please.
Fucking kill me and get it
You know
over
what?
with.
Start with this thing down here. I don't got any need for this, and then chop off my head.
I was going to kill the guy, but then he took the knife from me and he stabbed himself. I was... Honestly,
You
I
can
was
blame
mortified.
me for those
I was about to say-
13 other deaths. That's not me.
When the cops catch up with Jason, that wasn't on me. That one
Look,
wasn't
that
on
guy...
me.
All right, look.
I killed those other 32 other people, but that guy, no.
Look, I've done some sick shit, but that was dark, all right? I wasn't used to that.
I was outside the window. What she did to him was fucking messed up, man.
I've killed 27 people in the last 12 hours, but that fucking bitch.
I shoved an old lady's face in her stew.
You ever hear of something that's twisted as drowning in your own slop? I did that.
What she did was wrong.
What she did was wrong. I love him in a suit on trial with his hockey mask on.
Now, defending himself, Voorhees, the state versus Jason Voorhees. Mr. Voorhees, he walks in, he's all dun dun dun. That's all the people's court music. Dun 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 dun. Mr. Voorhees, what do you have to say for yourself?
All rise.
All right, look, I chopped Junior's head off with a meat cleaver. There's no denying that. I drowned the bitch in her own slop, but I'm telling you, what she did to Stutterface was just fucking ridiculous. I mean, come on.
I killed people. That was murder.
Dude, they show his family in the audience crying. Underneath it says Stutterface's family. Don't even say his name.
Do you have a paper towel? Because I actually got some ash into my glass
Oh, we
accidentally.
can get you a new glass. That's even better.
Keep going.
Hey, it's your birthday. You get a new glass. If
Well,
this
I
wasn't
appreciate that.
If this wasn't your birthday,
And I will admit that I drank some of the ash before I recognized it.
it happens, brother.
Thank you, Tuttle. Much
Well,
appreciated.
Jake storms upstairs in shame, tears streaming down his chubby cheeks. He tries to turn to Violet, the goth, for comfort, but she's busy listening to music and reading a magazine.
No, dude, that shows you lose some sympathy for Jake. He's so horny. He goes to the other chick. He's like, "Well, I struck out here. Let's see what's going on in the other room."
Oh, I thought he was really going to her for like.
No, I think he
comfort.
was like, "Poontang didn't work here. Let's
Hey,
try
I'm in
it.
charge here.
Let's
Maybe
try
she'll respect my position.
Let's try option B."
Well, she's like, maybe I'm busy. Maybe later. As he exits her bedroom, there's no later, as a bloody meat cleaver is waiting for his head. Jake, we hardly knew ye.
Later.
We hardly knew ye.
You bastard.
You've already been murdered twice.
Give me another Lake of the whatever it is.
Lake Breeze? The first one or the second one?
The second, please.
Yeah, it's much better. So up in the bedroom, Robin peels her top off. Yaks, what's the opposite of pendulous?
They were fine, but they were not Tina.
What's the
Okay.
line from Jaws 2?
She's got tits like a sparrow. Hey,
I have to admit, there was part of me that was like,
she's a cute
oh,
chick.
Oh.
Do you think Deborah Voorhees was sitting off stage like, no, you're doing great, hon.
Do you just want to
That's exactly what she's doing.
You are rocking the scene,
No.
baby.
You won't be able to get a job teaching junior high.
They were fantastic.
Ironically, she also got a job as a teacher, and nobody had any problems with it. The kids were fine.
They would have been fantastic, except we just saw Deborah Voorhees.
She had a nice lass.
I just saw Deborah Voorhees. I don't.
I
And I'm
guess
gonna- and I'm
again,
gonna-
as a medical professional,
No, I'm
I
a-
look at things holistically.
No, I'll tell you this: I'm an ass guy.
All sales
but
final.
Deborah Voorhees.
She had a nice ass too. Yeah, that's true. And she got full. Like she got. Enough
Can we
about,
go back to that wood scene?
you know what? Let me go back to page 6 of my notes.
Hey, baby, hey, baby.
Horny Eddie and Tina re-enter the woods. We never done that before. Like,
Go back.
hey, if
to
you watch a movie and you like it, you skip back and maybe later. Well, she climbs up in the top bunk. When she rolls over, she discovers Jake's dead body lying next to her. But before she can scream, a hand reaches up from below, covers her mouth, right as a machete is shoved up through the mattress, right through her. She's dead. So that just leaves Violet alive, right?
Yes.
In
The
the house?
And that is an old school Friday kill. That
Yeah.
knife through
Oh,
the
yeah.
mattress
Through
has
the
been
mattress.
happening like 4 or 5 times.
Isn't
I
that
actually rec-
isn't
I
that how
actually
Kevin
recognize
Bacon
that.
got it?
He got it in part 1 that way, and one of the guys in part 3,
In a hammock.
the chick in part 3 got it that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that just leaves Violet in the house alive.
Yep.
Wrong.
goth chick.
She's practicing some really unique dance moves up in her bedroom to a
My
really
lifestyle.
cool and lyrically appropriate song, I might add. It's called His Eyes by the band Pseudo Echo.
Was this old school? Was it the Robot or was
well,
it?
she was trying
No.
to. She was trying to like early pop lock, and
Yeah,
it,
it
just,
was.
It wasn't
Look at
good.
you, early pop lock.
Well, it was.
That's what Travis Tritt tour.
You want to hear a funny story about Pop-A-Lock? You know those people that come out when you can't get in your car? One night I left Cody's pub years ago, And I stopped. Speaking of fast food enchiladas, I stopped at a 7-Eleven at like 3 in the morning to get some Big Bite hot dogs.
Damn big
And when I got out, when I came back out with my food, I couldn't get in my truck. I'm like, oh shit! I like my keys in my truck. So I'm like, oh. So I go back in. The guy behind the counter at 7-Eleven's like, I don't see him anywhere, man. I can call Papa Lock. He's like, but it's like $75 or whatever, cash. And I'm like, yeah, okay, give him a call. So I'm standing out there by my truck and I'm eating my hot dogs. Come on, them to get cold. We've seen what it did to Demon. So I'm eating them and I'm seeing it. And the dude comes out and he's like, hey man, I just heard from Papa Lock. It'll be here in 5 minutes. I'm like, awesome, thanks. So I finished my Big Bite, tossed it in the back of the truck, the wrapper or whatever.
The keys were in your door?
No. I went to get it's back when I was a cigarette smoker. I reached down in my pocket, grabbed some smokes. It's my keys. So as the Papa Lock guy was coming in at 3 in the morning, I had to probably wake him up from his house. I just jumped in the truck, got the hell out of there. It's not really that great of a story.
Ooh, baby, hey, baby.
Well, she's doing these dance moves to this kind of cool song when Jason or whoever it is killing everybody sneaks up behind her and typical move stabs her in the belly and leaves.
And finally,
At
we
this
get to see a
point,
little bit of strength because he does the whole raise up
her
the wall.
and his hands are really muddy and dirty like Jason, and he's got the jumpsuit on. We see that. But at this point, I'm getting a little frustrated. I want to see Jason, and this whole stabbing everybody in the belly is getting a little old. Well, Reggie wakes up and goes upstairs to see what all the nuts are up to. His words, not mine. And he quickly discovers Jake, Robin, and Violet's corpses all piled up together on display in
Finally,
Tommy's
we
room.
get to see the presentation.
The still MIA... Oh, they're in Tommy's room.
Oh.
We still don't know where Tommy is. He ran off into the woods. That might be a clue. An arm reaches out and grabs Reggie. Nice little jump scare, but it's Pam. She explains she was unable to get to the airport, so she had to come back here. When she...
Wait, what are you doing?
You almost let that one pass.
I knew at this point in the night there's enough drinks that it'd probably be a 3-second pause where you guys were like, hey, wait a minute, you told a joke. When she sees the body, she grabs Reggie and they fly downstairs. Literally, she's shoving him downstairs so hard, he falls down and twists his ankle. Then she's like, get up! Get up!
Get to the chopper.
She grabs him.
I need to chop more wood in the morning.
As they make their way to the kitchen door, it's suddenly kicked in by Jason.
He was just in the house.
Well, I suppose it might not be Jason behind the hockey mask, but it sure as shit looked like him. And with only 20 minutes left in the movie, I was just happy to see a big guy with a hockey mask on. Although, Doctor, did you notice when watching this, throughout part 3 and 4, and in the dream sequences in part 5, Jason had his traditional red markings on the hockey mask.
This was different. This
Jason, when he bursts through the door, he's got a blue paint. He's got the blue arrows pointed on his hockey mask.
I thought I actually saw red, like one downstroke here, one over the eye.
Nope, that's in his dreams.
Okay.
This Jason, he's got a blue paint on his hockey
you
mask.
briefly lived in Canada, so that means this Jason played for the Montreal Canadiens.
That is correct. No, Montreal would have been red.
Calgary Flamers?
Toronto Maple
Calgary
Leafs.
Flames. Calgary Flamers was something else. That was a dance troupe I was involved with.
But yeah, he definitely has a different mask than we've ever seen on Jason. Maybe that's a clue. You know, if that sheriff truly believed that Jason was the killer like he told the mayor, wouldn't he at least once since then sent a deputy out to the murder house?
It's manpower
to
issue.
check.
It's a manpower.
We saw him with like 10 deputies canvassing the woods.
Let's not be sensible.
It's a
here.
manpower issue.
Pam and Reggie burst out the front door and begin running like hell through the raining woods. It's pouring down hard, and sometimes Pam is wearing her pink sweater tied around her neck, and other shots it's gone. Did you see that?
I did.
It's so bad. Like literally, sweater, no sweater, sweater, no sweater. And the writer went on to be a script
It's
supervisor.
like Braveheart in the 10-minute rundown to the battle scene where Mel Gibson draws his weapon like 3 times.
Melanie
that.
Melanie
Yeah.
Kinnaman, the actress that played Pam, mentioned in the trivia that she enjoyed having a wet shirt on. She felt she was finally feeling kind of sexy then.
She was.
As I was told to scream in terror as I fled.
I'm just
But I
saying
felt sexy doing
I'm
it.
just saying that there was one time where she runs up to the camera into frame, and it's like this, big frame on her face, and I'm just like, couldn't you have told her to stop like 5 paces too earlier?
Seems
to
like
get
Steinman
the
would have caught that.
little-
By the way, big fan of Melanie Kinnaman as Pam right here. I know
Yes.
we've all talked about Debbie Sue, but that was a good-looking woman.
No, she does her part.
She's no Deborah Voorhees.
But that whole
you know.
sweater thing is kind of, among horror nerds like me, it's kind of one of those continuity errors everyone just laughs at. Her and Reggie come across a 1950s ambulance parked on the road with its lights flashing. They pull up in the driver's side door, and that jackass bubblegum chewing paramedic who reveled in getting his hands dirty in the open scene slumps out of the vehicle with his throat cut.
Bunch of pussies.
Bunch of pussies.
You gotta have the presentation.
Reggie and Pam scream. Then Jason pops up from the other side of the ambulance, and they scream some more. And they take off running with Jason casually walking after them in his usual non-rush style. But they don't run off together. Reggie says, "Fuck this." Not really, he just thinks it. And he sprints away from Pam. He's not waiting around for her ass. And he goes straight off into the woods. Serves her right, trying to get to the airport. You know what, boys? You just kind of touched on this, Tut. Production-wise, it is such a costly and complicated choice to shoot a film with rain, especially a real heavy rainstorm. And they do a really good job pulling it off here. The fake rain looks really real.
Yeah.
I was wondering to myself why director Danny Steinman did it, considering how much easier it'd be to film this whole last act with no rain, just in the woods.
And he didn't really need it.
Well, Ted, I think he did, because when I saw that shot of the lovely Pam Roberts running around in her soaking wet white blouse, I got it. Well played, Mr. Steinman. The producers are all, Danny, that's like 15 grand. We don't. I need it.
Well, so this was total fake rain, right?
Yeah.
So in 6, there's a bunch of scenes where it's really raining, and you and I have shot in the rain.
We have.
And it's one of those things where, like, if you're in a low-budget movie, you didn't have a choice. You just got to go.
Yeah.
And
But he actually chose this horrible element, but it
works.
that
I'm
white
a
blouse.
big Pam fan.
Yeah, me too. Eventually, Pam stumbles across her boss/lover, her confidant, Dr. Matt,
Her rebel.
with his forehead pinned to a tree with a railroad spike.
He's not very rebel.
All sales final.
Doctor, I need your opinion here. Do you think Dr. Matt will ever be able to sit around and collect large, fraudulent Medicaid and insurance checks for literally doing nothing to help troubled kids ever again?
I would say, Cade, it's highly doubtful.
I think that's fair. It gives a little glimpse. but-
My God, the pain that's going on right then. Your head pinned to the... my God. Every nerve in his body must be on fire at this point.
Well, no, he's dead.
Ooh, baby, hey, baby.
Pam makes it back to the house, and as she calls out for Reggie, Reggie's Gramps gets tossed through the living room window with his eyes gouged out. This guy likes to take out eyes.
Let's take out the eyes.
I guess he won't be cooking breakfast in the morning.
He will not.
Too bad old
Sad.
Dr. Matt's dead, because that's what he'd be thinking. I guess I'll need somebody else to make breakfast. My God, he's
I
dead.
can't pour my own cereal in a bowl.
Let's see. Old Vic got taken to the
How
jail.
are you going to cook that food without firewood? The guy that was chopped, they got
Don't
taken
need
out.
firewood. Don't need breakfast.
Beer?
Yes, please.
What you want?
The blonde.
Let me guess.
I'm gonna need a new group of cuckoos over here to do my dirty work for me.
So yeah, Gramps, he got
You
it good.
can't replace Deborah.
As Jason pursues Pam across the front yard, we get a better look at the back of his head, and it's bald, slimy, and slightly disfigured. So maybe this is the real Jason after all.
Kind of looks it.
Or maybe Tommy did his thing like at the end of part 4, where he shaved his head,
Made his mask?
made a Jason mask, and this is him becoming Jason.
haven't seen
Or it's the
him
next
for a
thing that
while.
son of a bitch that shamed us is gonna say a bunch of bald, slimy guys talking about shit.
That asshole.
As our birthday boy likes to say, it's far too early to tell if this is Jason or not. Pam stumbles down on the wet grass, and for some reason she can't get up and run anymore. We see that a lot in movies where the chick just gives up. I can't run anymore. I've been running for TNCC style. But look at us. She's like a healthy...
My shirt's wet. I've got a nice ass. It's raining. I'm going to struggle.
This shirt is so heavy.
The sweater.
It's so wet. It's so heavy.
God. So she looks up at Jason. He raises his machete up in the air. But before he can swing it down, Reggie the Reckless drives a tractor straight through the wall of a nearby barn.
Austin Powers style. Like 5 minutes of the tractor coming to you.
And Jason just stands there. And he rams it straight into Jason's
Great
stomach.
acting by the young Shavar Ross. He's selling it, man. He's driving that tractor.
Jason flies back and writhes on the ground in pain. As Pam and Tommy look down at the killer, Pam is soaking wet because they've been in the rain all night. So is Reggie, but his red sweatsuit is perfectly dry. My God. And it's still raining on him and it's dry. I know law directors feel that if the audience notices continuity errors and things like this, it means they're not engaged with the film. Like, they'll never notice that. If we're doing our job, they'll never notice this.
Steinman was still upset that Paramount made him cut out that 3-minute porno he shot that afternoon. He's like, fuck it, I don't give a shit.
I get it. No, they're not going to notice little things. Like when he was killing Eddie in the woods, he was turning the rope clockwise, but then when they cut back to it, he was turning this way. That's forgivable. The sweater thing... Reggie being completely dry in the middle of it, like, dude, come on, you got to give a little bit of care. You got to kind of give a shit.
It'd be kind of like if Deborah was doing a scene and her stunt person stepped in with A's. It just it knocks you out of the scene.
It did. I'm sorry, where was I? We brought up Deborah again. Oh yeah,
we've got to stop doing that.
Jason reaches out and grabs Reggie's leg. Pam kicks Jason in the face a couple times until Reggie can break free, and they both run back to the barn together. Jason slowly rises to his feet. He's hurt, and he looks down, almost perplexed by the blood seeping out from his belly wound. We've never seen that from Jason before. Like,
we have not.
Him acknowledging an injury. Jason makes his way to the enormous barn and begins looking for Pam and Reggie. He swings open a stall door, and Pam comes out roaring, chainsaw first. "Yay, Pam, go get him," Reggie yells from the upstairs of the barn. She cuts Jason's shoulders deep, and he falls backwards against some hay bales. If this is Jason, not Tommy, he certainly is the most vulnerable and susceptible to pain we've ever seen him. But right before Pam can finish Jason off, her chainsaw stops working. Just like everything else in this place. The trucks don't work, the chainsaw doesn't work.
The barn, the 2-story barn is also...
You think Dr. Matt's like, I should really get some troubled kids that know mechanics? And,
well, I had one chop me some wood, but he killed a motherfucker. Dude, the 2-story barn is a staple of
Why
Fridays.
don't these chainsaws work? Well, I didn't need one. I had a guy chopping wood with an axe.
That fat-ass candy bar eater came along and fucked up my whole scene.
Well, Jason finally gets to his feet as Pam is climbing the ladder to join Reggie upstairs when our old friend Tommy steps in the front of the barn. He's so used, though, to seeing hallucinations of Jason that he doesn't budge when the real Jason approaches him and slashes him across the chest with a machete. Before Jason can deliver the kill blow, Tommy stabs him in the leg with his trusty pocket knife and manages to join the others upstairs.
Well, I was waiting for him to actually pull it out, open it, caress it
a little bit,
and then jab it in his leg.
We are minutes away from finishing this film. Tut, you have finished the cigar. Everybody else is really close. Final thoughts?
It's a good cigar. It's a little underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed?
He didn't want to say it
by
out
the
loud.
hype?
Yes, I was underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed by the hype.
If you knew nothing, just were handed it to you.
It's a good cigar if it was just handed to me.
Yeah, I think the marketing threw you for a loop here. Doctor?
Enjoyed the kudzu better.
Yeah.
What the other one, the bad cigar. Like I said, I'd like to try it under different circumstances, but
Which you will.
yeah, I'll go with that.
I agree with the doctor. Kudzu, great.
Kudzu, really, really great.
Brimstone, I agree with you. Marketing kind of made it sound better than it ended up
Not better,
being,
different.
It just didn't have the profile that I expected it would.
And I think we're all in agreement there. Price point, Tut.
$13.50.
$13.50.
I'm being lazy tonight.
What you got?
12.
It's a triple Ajero. I mean,
You're right. Triple 11.
$13.50.
12.
12.
You know, it's difficult because I don't want to belabor the point, but just trying to judge it against the previous cigar and what the prices might be.
It is strong.
So guessing, you want me to guess what I think it would cost as opposed to what I'd pay for it.
Yes.
You went $13.50. You went 12.
Yep.
The other one was $11.89.
Remember, if you just go 1 cent under Yaks and it's lower, you win.
Yeah, and you know what though? I want to try to give it an honest effort. I'm gonna again kind of split the difference. I'm gonna go with 13.
should have gone with $12.49 or $11.59.
$11.99.
$11.99 is the price.
So again, good value,
So you're saying I was the winner?
but not as
Yes.
good.
Yes.
You win the guess, but
I'll get your prize as soon as my systems are up.
I'm gonna
again.
say that
Son of a bitch.
$11.89 for the Kudzu is better value. Not much.
All right, so here's where it's kind of weird. $11.99 is actually a pretty good price point for this cigar.
I gave the previous one a high value.
I'm just saying that if you take the marketing concept out of this cigar, it's a good cigar. $11.99, I can see it. I actually can.
So we join the horny troublemakers Eddie and Tina, played by the stunningly top-heavy Deborah Voorhees. How cool is that name?
We've already
As
done
they
that.
once again sneak off into
I'm
the
totally
woods
fine with this.
to get busy.
This is the
I think
executive.
we've already gone over this.
You know, I can see the other young adults. They clearly have apparent mental issues, but with these two, it seems their only disorder is they can't keep their pants on. Other than that, they appear totally normal, which I'm sure is okay with Dr. Matt.
Gone over this.
Anyways, after sharing a little doobie to help release their non-existent
Call me back when the
inhibitions,
end credits come
We've
up.
totally gone over this.
they're both instantly naked and going at it on a picnic blanket like a bunch of sex-starved bunny rabbits.
Look at that. It's a good one.
We've totally gone over
If it's right.
Oh,
Look at that
okay.
one. That one's not
Like-
so good.
I
Okay.
mean, if you want to go over it again,
All sales.
Well, no,
sales final.
I got the feeling Tut was the only one that was enjoying the
And
replay.
we quit on
damn
it.
it. Why am I the voice of reason?
Yeah, you're a voice, all right.
Please.
Well, for some reason, to skip back to where we originally were, they let the hobbled Jason climb the barn ladder and join them upstairs when they had 1,000 hay bales they could have easily thrown
Or
on him.
Kick the ladder.
They could have kept him knocked down for hours until the cops
They
showed
could have
up.
Donkey Konged
you're in
his
a
ass
barn?
and just.
Just poke him with a stick and he'd fall down. They didn't have to let him up there. Well, just as when he gets up there, he sees Tommy laying unconscious on the floor, and just as he's about to kill Reggie, Pam bashes him over the back of the head with an axe handle. And with Reggie the Reckless's and a revived Tommy's help, they finally manage to shove Jason out the upstairs barn window, where he falls right down on a very large, very sharp piece of tractor equipment. The hockey mask flies off during the fall to reveal that it's Roy, the icy-eyed paramedic who's been behind the mask
It
all
just
along.
and at
Were
this
you
point,
talking to me?
It just turned into a Scooby-Doo.
Say something, Sheriff?
It just turned into a Scooby-Doo episode.
It did.
This whole time it was old man Roy. He was the one behind it all, trying to scare
I would
everybody
have
away.
got away with it if it weren't for you pendulous, horny kids.
What are you pendulous, horny kids? Well, as Cade pointed out, and they had to bring back Jason. They didn't.
Everyone agreed this was the way to go. Jason's dead. We got to start something new.
But
People want Jason.
as Cade mentioned earlier,
Halloween 3 style. Where's Michael?
this film made money. So the producers came back and said, we got to bring back Jason.
And they did in part 6 and the best film in the series.
If If only, what were they going to do? Strike him with the bolts of lightning?
Yes, that's
Oh,
exactly what
wait.
they do.
Shit.
Later on at the hospital, the sheriff shows a distraught Pam Roy's wallet, where right behind a photograph of himself... Roy, what do you keep in your wallet? Well, here's this nice black and white shot of myself. Oh, and then here's a shot of Joey taken from the day he was dead.
No, that was Jonah Hill.
You have had no contact with him since he was a baby. Where'd you get this
Picture.
that's taken from him from this movie? It's a huge... Guys are
Literally,
crazy.
the clothes he was wearing.
Yes!
And a candy bar!
There's Joey in his wallet, the candy bar loving fatso who was hacked to pieces earlier in the film.
That's going in the notes.
Turns out Roy was
Candy
the
bar
father.
loving fatso.
Roy was the father who abandoned Joey when he saw his dead son, he snapped.
Did he abandon him? He was literally right down the road.
He was keeping an eye on him, I guess. When he saw his dead son, he snapped and decided to use the Jason angle to cover his tracks.
But why did he kill those lovable greasers?
Well, he's bloodthirsty at that point. He's
He's
killing
went
it.
crazy. He's a
I'm just
kill.
saying.
He went
They-
crazy. He
Yeah,
snapped.
He's
Kill.
just crazy now. He's just
Doctor,
snap.
what's the definition of when you snap?
My God, man. I think the clinical definition is cuckoo bananas.
He went cuckoo bananas,
I'm
yes.
just
That's
saying.
why.
Roy went cuckoo bananas.
He did go cuckoo bananas.
Killed a bunch of cuckoos and some horny people, and they shouldn't have killed.
And honestly, the way this
Tina.
movie played out, I'm surprised there weren't some bananas involved.
They were fed to Vic before he was taken back to the younger.
Pam then makes her way down the hospital hallway to Tommy's room, where he smiles up at her from his bed right before stabbing her in the gut with a giant machete and laughing hysterically. Oh shit, Tommy's the new Jason, it's official. No, it was a dream. He wakes up from that nightmare and everything's okay again. Wide awake now, he has a hallucination of Jason staring at him from the foot of his bed. Back to the red paint on the hockey mask, the real Jason. But this time around, Tommy doesn't blink. He stares straight at Jason, doesn't rub his eyes, and eventually Jason's vision disappears. He finally got rid of... He's moving on, boys. Moving on.
Leaving it somewhat ambiguous, but not really.
Not really, as this plays out. Tommy rolls out of bed and opens the hospital drawer, little dresser next to him, where someone has nicely put Roy's hockey mask in there, right beside Tommy's wallet and personal effects. You might want this later for a keepsake.
The hockey mask?
A keepsake.
All sales final.
What do we do with this hockey mask? Did it belong to that guy over there?
Pam hears a loud crashing sound from Tommy's room, and when she races in, the large window has been shattered, and she assumes Tommy has jumped out and fled. But just then, the hospital door closes behind her, and there's Tommy wearing the hockey mask as he raises a giant fucking knife into the air to presumably kill poor Pam, but we freeze on him. So, one, I guess they're setting this up for him to be the next Jason, maybe.
Yeah.
If they go that route. Two, what nurse put that big-ass fucking knife? The same one in the hockey mat. They'll probably want this, too.
Her brother was the gravedigger who put it in with those two assholes at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's not something you just find in your hospital room. It's a huge knife.
So again, they didn't know what they were going to do with it. The movie, as you pointed out, Cade, made a bunch of money off a low budget. So the producer said, when Part 6 came out a year later, they said, hey, let's bring Jason back. Even though this movie made money, that's what the fans want.
It's Halloween 3.
So,
it's Halloween 3 and 4 all
Obviously,
over
they
again.
go to Part 6. They bring back Tommy Jarvis as Tom Matthews, and Jason's body is still buried in a grave, and the whole... It's a one-off. It's not a one-off with Tommy Jarvis. Tommy Jarvis is the only character that has continuity. And well, the films have some continuity, but Tommy Jarvis is the only recurring character, Part 4, 5, 6. So they decide we'll do Part 6. Tom Matthews does it great.
He is,
But
he's really good.
we'll start over with the Roy. The Roy as the Jason copycat killer was a one-off. Jason's still in his grave. Tommy's going to go out there and we'll start from there. He's not the killer, but they led that ambiguity just to, hey, what are we going to do? It gives us some options.
Well, we polished the entire bottle of scotch. No surprise. it was tasty. The
Man.
Bunahabahabahan.
Bunhabheim.
Bunahake.
Easy for you to say. Doctor, hope you had a good birthday.
Dude, I had a fantastic fucking birthday.
What a better...
You know where yet?
What
Well, I
could-
guess it is.
We're getting there. Well, actually, technically, yes, it is.
Fucking fantastic.
Dude, talking movies, having some good stogies, some good beers.
Always good.
Entire bottle of scotch. We got one more. After this, we'll have one more movie before Halloween.
Okay.
And then that's it for our big favorite season of the year. Then we'll watch some lame non-horror movies for the rest of the year.
If you want to join us at Twitter at TNCCcast, join us on Instagram, TNCC_podcast. Hit us up on Facebook, Tuesday Night Cigar Club. Subscribe to us. A lot of you have on Tuesday on the YouTube, Tuesday Night Cigar Club. If you want to buy some cigars that we've lovingly talked about tonight, you can hit the famous smoke shop banner on the Tuesday Night Cigar Club. If you purchase something over $100, do the promo code TNCC20 and you'll get $20 off of that order. That's like 20%.
It's almost 20%, yeah.
And you know what? Guess what? If you need something to hold those cigars, and you got this like little jalopy, cigar humidor there, click that Daniel Marshall banner on there. I'm begging my wife. I'm like, I want this humidor, and then get a Daniel Marshall humidor bug because that's
Hey, you send in your
it's
old
freaking art, man.
You send in your old shitty humidor. He sends you a voucher for money off a brand new Daniel Marshall humidor.
And by the way, when you got some friends over and you're like, hey, look at my humidor, and they're like, yeah, I got one too, and you're like, oh yeah, was it made by Arnold Schwarzenegger's humidor guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get the Daniel Marshall humidor, yeah, yours is.
That would work well if I ever had friends over.
And if you want to buy you got Christmas coming up, you want to buy some little gifts on Amazon, click the Amazon banner on the Tuesday Night Cigar Club.
Yes, we actually just got a little deposit in our bank account from Amazon, so thank you, folks, who actually do that.
You notice that you notice the lights haven't gone off tonight, and that's because of all the people that do.
Yeah.
All promises made to the electrical company are not binding.
Thank you, Drew Estate.
I got a final message. Anybody who body shames Tut again, fuck you.
I'm a sensitive guy. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah. And I'm not going to call you a pear-shaped loser ever again.
It was hurtful.
Shouldn't have said it the first time.
I'm sorry.
All right.
You shouldn't.
Thank you, everyone, for joining the Tuesday Night Cigar Club.
I would like to give 2 thumbs up on tonight's show. I would like to give 2 thumbs up on the Tuesday Night Cigar Club. I'd like to give double 2 thumbs up on being here with my best pals on my birthday. I wouldn't have rather been anywhere else.
Yeah.
Great kick-ass time. I'd like to give 2 thumbs up from everybody to Mr. Cody Yakboy Lesker for coming through with a excellent, fine bottle of scotch for our enjoyment.
Oh, yeah,
Way
2
to go,
thumbs up
brother.
for the Bunahabahabahan.
Bunhabheim.
That's some love right there, buddy. I appreciate that. I'm going to come through for you likewise.
I'm next up for the 2 thumbs up. I can feel it. He's going to give it to me.
Dude, 2 thumbs up. Mr. Matt Cade has a birthday coming shortly. Mr. Matt Cade enjoys the 6 days of the year that he is younger than me. My birthday is September 25th. This is October 1st.
For the next 6 days, I call him every day on the phone. I talk really loud.
Yeah, he asked me when I'm going to get... He is like, it's 4:30. You're probably getting dinner right now. He's a real piece of shit about it.
I relish this next week.
We've been doing this for, God, longer than we're going to care to admit.
Couple decades.
But, hey, great birthday for me. Wouldn't have had any other place. Loved it here. Great show. Thanks to Yaks for the scotch. 2 thumbs up all around for a birthday show for the doc. Loved it. Absolutely fantastic. Love you guys. Fantastic time.
Dude, Yak's coming with the Big John.
Little golf clap.
Big John slow
little
clap.
Big John from Can't Buy Me Love slow clap.
Yeah.
Cool, nerds.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I wouldn't dare to compete with what you just said. I'm just going to send us out. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. Sayonara, motherfuckers.
To learn more about the time I had a few too many of my famous high-octane imperial stouts and decided to head out to my local cemetery and desecrate the grave of a notorious serial killer, please watch the new Netflix true crime documentary, Pissing on Velma Barfield's Grave, One Man's Drunken Night in Hell, starring yours truly. Seriously, the lady was a real monster. Just Google it. But hey, it's not like she's gonna get resurrected by a bolt of lightning and come looking for me. That crazy shit only happens in the movies, folks. Wait a minute, I hear something outside my window. It's probably just a raccoon or some falling acorns or something. Let me just take a quick look-see. Oh shit! It's Velma Barfield, and she's coming back to kill! I guess I kinda asked for that. But in the meantime, to learn more about the cigars and other libations enjoyed on tonight's episode, you can visit southerndrawcigars.com, bellsbeer.com, and seguinbrewing.com. And please, tell the world my story. For more on O'Brien's Irish Pub, the live music leader in Central Texas, please visit o'brienstemple.com and download their free smartphone app, where you'll find full beer listings including over 40 on tap, menu information, and a calendar of upcoming live events. To listen and purchase music heard on tonight's program, check out www.fritzbeermusic.com. Thank you for listening to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. This is Keith A. Howell saying until next time, friends, unless we see you sooner at the pub. So keep it smoky, and for God's sake, keep it ballsy as well.
Don't work, get drunk, go sleep. I